build, fish, and explore. I'll be playing 200 days of Stardew Valley's new 1.6 update, and I'll try to achieve perfection by the end of 200 days. So let's begin. For the farm, I'll be choosing the Meadowlands. It's a new farm with a 1.6 update. So upon choosing Meadowlands, we won't be getting some parsnip seeds, but instead we receive some hay because we have an already made coop with 2 chickens outside. I mean chicks, because they're babies. So before I start my activities in the farm, I decided to clean the areas of the coop so the chickens have a easier time moving around. Also, there are these new blue grasses. It seems they are good food for your animals in the farm. It basically doubles the amount of friendliness the animals gain when eating blue grass instead of the green one. After spending most of my energy, I went out to do some foraging since I didn't want to pass out just working on my farm. I also spoke with the locals just to finish my quest of talking to all the people in Stardew Valley, and went to Pierre's store to buy some potato seeds to start my farming journey. I returned home clearing out a small area and started plowing the land, planted and watered my potato seeds. That's basically my whole day. And with the remaining energy I have, I cleaned the farm. Day 2, I watered my plants and headed over to the beach to meet with Willie. He gave me a free fishing rod, so I started my fishing journey as well in the game. I basically fished all day until I depleted all of my energy. I then went to Pierre's to buy more potato seed as I had money from selling fishes. I'm gonna eat the seaweeds and some fish just to have energy to plant and water these. After sleeping, I gained level 1 in foraging. The next day was raining, so all I really need to do was take care of my chickens. I mean chicks. Oh, they're actually chickens now. Now I get some eggs from them every day. Let's go. And since it was raining, it was high time to capitalize on this rain by fishing in the river for some catfish. And I get trash. And after running out of energy, I went home, sold a bunch of stuff, and headed to bed. Day 4, I cleared out a path towards the down area of my farm, so I have a shortcut towards Marnie's shop. I then went foraging for stuff, so I have something to eat for energy. And look at all the spring onions here. I have a bunch of food in my inventory now. I can munch on stuff. Then made a bunch of cobblestone paths, so I have faster movement speed when going left, up, or down my map. This is currently my humble farm. So simple. I then bought a bunch of seed at Pierre's so I can expand my farm. I bought some cauliflowers and beans since I needed them for the community center. And after watering them and I had no more energy, I decided to just sleep for the day and save my spring onions for next time when I need some energy. Day 5, Marnie paid us a visit, telling us if we should or if we want to adopt this black cat. And I said yes, sure. After going to town, Lewis then introduced me to the community center, which is pretty much broken up right now, but we're gonna fix it. I interacted with a note in the ground, and I couldn't really read it, so I just left. Since I know fishing was a great source of money, I decided to fish at the mountain lake. Basically spent the whole day here. Day 6, I got a letter from the wizard telling him to visit him. Sure. So I watered my plants, took care of my chickens, and went to the wizard tower. He made me drink this very questionable green liquid so I can read the text he said from the community center. And I did it. Why not? I got like 38 energy from this. So with the remaining energy I had, I decided to chop some wood. And slept after I depleted my energy. Day 7, finally, some day of harvest. I got a bunch of parsnip seeds and potato seeds. These parsnip seeds were from mixed seeds, I think, that I planted. Then went back to the community center since now I know I can understand whatever these texts are. I donated some foraging bundles, the spring foraging bundles. I have collected the 4 pieces I need already. And I completed it. I got rewarded with 30 spring seeds, which I'm gonna plant. And also unlock a bunch of new areas for the community center where I can submit some stuff. Then slapped in my parsnip and potato. I just need the bean and the cauliflower and I'll be done with my spring crops bundle. Then went to Pierce, sold all my harvests like the potato and the parsnip, and bought myself a backpack upgrade because I really hate inventory management. And with this, I have a bigger inventory space. With the remaining money I have, I bought some kale seeds to plant to my farm. I then planted all the seeds I had and watered them. And I'm kinda hating how I need to manually watering all my plants. So I need to think about going to the mines and craft some sprinklers. Leveled up my foraging to level 2. Also mining to level 1. Probably from breaking all those rocks in the farm. Day 8. I sold some potatoes that have fully grown and bought more seeds to plant in my farm. Right now, I wanted to make more parsnip seeds as I need the golden quality ones for the community center. I finally went to the mines in order to get some ores to make some sprinklers, and this adventurer leader, or the head of the adventurer guild, gave me a rusty sword. So finally, we get to explore the mines and fight some dangerous monsters like the slimes. The bugs are not dangerous though, except for the bugs that flies. Not that bug. My goal was to go as deep as possible. Hopefully get to the floor where iron ore is available so we can craft some sprinklers. So yeah, I spent the whole day in this dangerous mines. I had some food, so I'm not really worried about, danger. I have an egg and wild radish. I think I'm fine, and some fish. Managed to reach about floor 13 before heading out. And look at the amount of copper ore I have. I have like more than 50. Before heading to bed, I planted the parsnip seeds I bought from Pierce and watered them. I leveled up farming to level 2 and now I can make some mayonnaise machine. And sprinklers! The mayonnaise machine would be great. We can now make mayonnaise out of the chicken eggs. Next day, I got a visit from Clint. He gave me a recipe for a furnace. I guess going to the mines triggers this event. So this is great. Now we can smelt our coppers to copper bars. So I made myself a single furnace which would process some coppers for me. This should be enough to process all the copper ores I have. For the mayonnaise machine, I would need a earth crystal that I don't have. I need to look for one in the mines. I also crafted some scarecrows so nothing will steal our crops. So yeah, after I finished watering and taking care of what needs to be taken care of in the farm, I went back to the mines to explore and gather more ores, going deeper and deeper until we get those iron ores. Day 10. I managed to get myself an earth crystal, so now I have a mayonnaise machine. I can now make mayonnaise out of the eggs I get from the chickens, which would further increase my income. I then went and paid a visit to the museum. I don't really have any items I can donate, but at the very least, I wanted to come here. And this was Gunther. He manages the museum. I'm a man in need of money, so I went to fish at the mountain. Day 11. I got a message from Robin that she lost her favorite axe, so I'll get to that when I can. For now, I went to the beach just to check how much the fiberglass rod was so I can put bait on my rod. And it was kinda expensive. 1/8. I decided to fish for a bit at the ocean, if ever I can collect enough and buy it off before the day ends. So I fished till like 5 PM when the store closes, and I don't think I have enough. There was this really weird thing that happened. What the hell? So yeah, for the rest of the day, I just fished since I had nothing better to do and I was poor. Day 12. I can smell the money just lying around. Look at all the parsnips I have grown. Yes, I'm gonna sell this all to Pierce and buy the fiberglass rod. I also bought more parsnip seeds as I didn't have enough 5-star quality parsnips. And finally, I went to Willie's and bought the fiberglass rod. Now I can put some bait on this rod to make catching faster. I planted and watered my parsnip seeds, and I went to the mountain to fish for money. I reached level 3 in farming and level 6 on fishing, which I got the fisher perk, so my fishes are worth more. And look at all the money we made from fishing and the mayonnaise. Day 13, the kale was ready for harvest. Now we can get a bunch of money from this. So if you notice, I have a carrot. It's one new addition from the 1.6 update. It basically heals us a bunch of health and energy. You get carrots from the mine or hoeing a spot in the ground with a worm. Today was actually the egg festival, so I used all my money to buy some strawberry seeds. I also attended the egg hunt, which I emerged victorious and destroyed these kids' hopes and dreams of winning. Dang right, I won. After the event, I returned home already at 10 p.m. So I decided to use all my energy on chopping trees. So at the very least, I expended and used my energy for the day. The next day, finally, my freaking wild seeds are ready for harvest. I don't need to water them anymore. I'm so tired of watering all of these things. And also, I get a bunch of money from them, which is nice. Also, my cauliflower and green beans are done. I can finally put it to the community center and see what rewards we get. I then planted all my strawberry seeds and watered them. I crafted a bunch of basic fertilizer to improve the quality of the strawberry once it's ready for harvest. And since I had some money, I decided to go to Marnie's and finally buy some chickens. I'm gonna buy 2 chickens to fully occupy my coop. I've also been visiting the traveling merchant in hopes for some red cabbage. And for the rest of the day, I spent it on chopping some wood and cleaning out the farm. I also made an area where I'm planning to put my tree farm here for some saps. The next day, it seems it was time for the salmon berries to appear from these bushes. I think it would be wise if I were to farm this for the whole day. So that's a good goal to get, because these things are energy boosters, I swear. It's like free energy. I went to the beach to forage some stuff. And I also fixed the bridge so I can forage more stuff. But there's actually not much stuff right now on this other side. At the very least, I got some coral out of this. I then went to Robin's so I can have her make me a well that's just beside my farm. Because honestly, going to my coop each time I want to refill my watering can is a bit of a hassle. So I made her make me a well just beside my farm. I didn't really have sprinklers right now, so this was my best plan in like getting more water nearby. I basically just spent the day chopping some wood as I needed wood. And before the day ends, I laid out my plan for making a tree farm right here. For maple, oak, and pine. I didn't really have the strong axe to break the big stumps, but anyways, I'll take care of it once I improve my axe. The next day, harvest day again. I'm gonna get all those farming experience and also money. And hopefully I get enough golden parsnips so I'm finished with my parsnip bundle. For this day, I decided to go to the community center and donated the stuff I have amassed recently, which are needed for the community center. I dropped off all the fish I had collected. I also dropped off some spring crops to finish the bundle. And I got myself a speed grow fertilizers. Okay, this is gonna be useful. I then went to Pierce and sold my excess parsnips and cauliflowers. And I just went on my day gathering some salmon berries. And explored the mines for more ores and hopefully reaching floor 30 for the sweet iron ores. After my adventure, I went to the adventurer store to buy a good weapon. I didn't really like fighting the bugs with a very rusty sword. So I decided to buy a stronger weapon so I have an easier time in the mines. Day 17, I made a bunch of tappers since I had copper bars now. I just planted it on random trees. More or less the oak trees. Next, I went to Clint's to upgrade my pickaxe, donated some stuff to the museum, and continued gathering salmonberry on this day. Alright, forgot to mention the other day I found Robin's axe and I returned it to her. Then I spent the entire day just fishing for money. And look, I found an accessory. It's a jade ring that increases my critical chance. Nice. I was honestly excited for these strawberries to finish growing so I can have money because I really need money to buy a bunch of stuff and make my coop bigger to buy more chickens or ducks. Anyways, the traveling merchant still doesn't have any red cabbage for today. Sad. And since my pickaxe was finished, I grabbed it from Clint. Now I have a copper pickaxe. It was time to venture in the mines once more. This is probably the level I don't like that much in the mines because it's very dark and don't have any glow rings at all. so it's a problem for me. It's really hard to see. I eventually reach floor 42, and finally we have access to mining some iron ores. And look at all the dust sprites right there. These guys are a lovely source of coal. I must eliminate all of them. And I also got a book. It's a monster compendium. It increases, or it gives a chance for a monster to drop double the loot. That's crazy. It's one of the updates of 1.6 books. I didn't really stay long as it was already late, but I did manage to get about 16 silver ores, which was good. Day 20. Demetrius paid me a visit. He asked me if I wanted a mushroom cave or a fruit cave. I chose the fruit cave, as I needed fruits for the community center and I didn't want to grow trees. Next, I went to Clint's and upgraded my axe to a copper axe. Then went exploring for the whole day at the mines again. What a fun day at the mines. I reach up to floor 55 before calling it a day, and look at the amount of salmonberry I have. I also got a mallet randomly from some random box in this area. It's gonna be my weapon of choice for now, as hammers deal massive damage if used correctly. With the bars I made, I managed to craft 3 sprinklers. This will surely help me in watering these plants. At the very least, I have less work to do. Day 21. I made 2 more sprinklers. I'm almost done putting the 6 sprinklers that I need. But honestly, I would want some quality sprinklers. I don't need to water some of these plants. Like, actually, not water all of them. Anyways, I dropped off some stuff at the community center just to free up my storage space. And also, just because. I completed the Adventurers bundle with a solar essence and some bat wings, giving me a small magnet ring. This will be very helpful to, just magnet the items. And since there was a book selling thingy today, I went and visited. It seems there are a bunch of books that has various effects, but they were very expensive for me right now. The books I was interested in are the movement speed books, but they're so expensive. Not yet, but eventually I'll be able to buy them. Since my luck was pretty bad today, I decided to just fish. I also got myself a dino egg while fishing. Finally, it's harvest day. Time to be rich. Let's go. All the strawberries. I'm gonna sell it all and make a lot of money. Let the sound of money ring in our ears. I got 14k now. Let's go. I then grabbed my axe from Clint's. Went to Robin's to upgrade my coop to a big coop. Let's go. There goes all my money though. Then to the mines I go, where I got another hat. And now I look weird. But whatever. I'm wearing all new hats every time I encounter a new one, because why not? It's a change for fashion each time. I don't want to wear the same hat. I chopped some trees at the farm since I still have some time before sleep time, and so I can finally completely clean my future tree farm. Yeah, before heading to bed. I reached farming level 5, and I'm gonna pick the rancher perk because I don't plan on selling my crops in the future. I plan on making it into juice or wine. Next day, I got a bunch of fruits at the cave. I got some apple, blackberry, wild plum, and some salmon berries. I also planted a bunch of random tree seeds just near my farm. I'm gonna need a lot of wood in the future, so I'm hoping I can extract a lot of wood out of these things. I went foraging at the beach, and look, a sea urchin. Something we need for the community center. Let's go. I then went on fishing at the ocean since I had nothing else to do. And I was poor and in need of money. Even got myself a diamond. It will help me on my cash problem right now. I reached level 5 in foraging and chose the Forester perk for more wood. And look at the money we gained today, 4.3k, let's go. Seems some of my saps were already done. I'm happy to collect all the oak resins. We'll be needing a lot of this in the future once we have a shed or once we have unlocked the recipe for a keg to make wine or fruit juices. Those are where the money is at in the future. It seems there was a flower dance festival today, and I attended it after doing my business in the farm. So yeah, why not chill for the day? Because I've been doing a lot of work lately to get some money. After the event, I chopped some wood before the day ended. I wanted to spend all my energy before I went to rest because it's a waste of energy. Day 25, my coop upgrade was done. Now I can buy more chickens or ducks. I actually incubated one of the eggs because I was just curious. I then went to Clint's to open a bunch of geodes because I had been stocking a bunch now. Upgraded my axe to a steel axe so I can chop the wood that's blocking the way to the mystic forest. I needed to collect a bunch of hardwood because I really wanted a stable, so I have a trusty steed, a horse that will help traveling much faster. For the rocks, I decided to donate all of it to the museum so I don't have to hoard most of these rocks. And for the rest of the day, I spent it at the mines, collecting more silver ores. My goal now was to get to, I think, floor 80 to get some gold ores. I needed the gold ores to make gold bars to make quality sprinklers, so we don't need to water a bunch of our plants. I managed to reach floor 80, but it was already late, so I decided to go home and rest. Today was yet another harvest day, and also the traveling merchant is here today. Hopefully he has the red cabbage. And nope, he did not. I hate this guy. I went to Marnie's and bought a bunch of ducks at my new expanded coop. And since I needed money, the best source would be the river on a rainy day for catfish. They are expensive. I went to the ocean to fish myself an eel as I needed this for the community center. Afterwards, it was catfish fishing in the river again. I reached level 6 in farming, unlocking the quality sprinkler. And just look at the amount of money I made. It was mostly from the strawberries and the cauliflowers I was growing. But from fishing, I got about 2.1k from the catfish. Now I have 11k. Let's go. Next day, I went to Clint's to upgrade my pickaxe to a steel pickaxe. I then went to the community center to donate a bunch of stuff I've been hoarding that's for the community center. As I was collecting some hardwood at the Mystic Forest, I got myself a dwarf helm. It looks pretty cute, so it's one of my favorite headgear right now. So I'm wearing it now. So their goal here was to get the wood skip, one of the fish I needed for the community center. As I was heading to the traveler merchant, I got an ancient doll. This thing was needed to get the Meow Mirror in the 1.6 update. Also, a book that gave me 1 defense. That's crazy. I was pretty lucky. But then again, the freaking traveling merchant doesn't have any cabbage. Since I didn't have my pickaxe right now, I decided to just make money fishing at the mountain lake. I got really lucky and got a diamond plus a treasure chest. There's an easy 5,000 gold right there. Let's go. Look at the amount of money I got from everything I did so far. And that's the end of spring. We welcome summer. Wow, it's so hot outside. Why do I even go out? So the very first day of summer, I went to Pier's shop to buy seeds to plant the summer crops. I bought a bunch of seeds like blueberry, pepper, tomato, and a whole lot of melon. Melon's gonna be our source of money right now. Alright, also some corns and puppy, as we need those for community center as well. Anyways, after all that shenanigans, I went to the mines to collect some gold ores so I can start making those quality sprinklers. I found myself a new sword called a Yeti sword. It was a level 7 sword and honestly it dealt really good damage. So, not really that good, but good enough. Getting a lot of gold ores, so I'm very happy with this. But I need to go home early as I need to plant all the seeds I just bought. I eventually reached floor 100 and got myself my very first star drop. Let's go. I used a warp totem to go back home, but since I didn't have enough time, I just planted some seeds on the areas where the sprinklers watered. So yeah, and then I slept. I reached level 5 in mining, and I chose the miner perk for an additional ore per vein. Next day, I finally had some quality sprinklers. I laid them off the ground because it was time to have the convenience of not watering any of our plants anymore. This is a very joyful moment, And I'm gonna go back to the mines again just to get more gold ore so I can make more sprinklers. I went to the Mystic Forest as I wasn't gonna stop on collecting some hardwood because I really want that horse. Also because I was looking for some fiddlehead fern as I needed this for the community center. I went to the mines and mined some silver ores. I needed silver than gold actually, my bad. Wanted a bunch more seeds because I will be making more quality sprinklers soon. I'm going to eventually cover this whole area with quality sprinklers and this will be a farming area. The next day I went to Robin's to make a silo. It was finally time to make this so I can harvest some grass for some hay. Afterwards, I spent the day exploring in the mines again to get some gold ores. I then went home and finally I have enough materials to... Oh my god, I destroyed one of my melons. Anyways, I had enough materials to fully make some quality sprinklers on all the areas of my current farm. I just need a bunch more left for the third area for a farm. The next day, I went to Pierce to buy more melon seed as I was lacking in them. I'm gonna expand my farm so I'll need more seed. I then went to the mines and mined a bunch of silver ores as I was needing them. Before I ended the day, I went to the community center to donate a bunch of stuff like this fire quartz completing the geologist bundle and a gold bar to complete the blacksmith bundle. Completing this area right here and also having a reward of an extra furnace and some geodes. So this is the first area we've fully completed in the community center. Fixed. Yeah. I also completed the crab pot bundle and I got myself some crab pots from this. Then the summer foraging bundle, obtaining some seeds for summer forage. I then crafted a bunch more sprinklers, fully completing my first area of the farm. Now that we've finished that one area in the community center, we have finally access to the carts, meaning easier time to go to the mines or the blacksmith. And for our combat reaching level 5, I chose the scout perk because I think critical chances would do more damage than combat. The next day, I'm not entirely sure if this green rain is new. It's probably new because I never encountered any moss when I played this before. So these are mossy trees and we chop them down. You just got wood normally. But when you chop those trees that look like they had moss, they will give you some moss. So basically, this rain would spawn a bunch of trees, I guess. Or these are the seeds I planted like days ago and now they have fully grown into trees. Anyways, these new looking trees makes me very curious. And they give you like mossy seeds so you can plant, I guess, mossy trees. I'm not sure. But anyways. Yeah, I chopped a bunch of them as I was very curious. Also visited a traveling merchant, hoping there was finally a red cabbage, but not yet. This giant weird looking tree actually gives you some fiddlehead ferns, which was interesting because I never knew something like this exists. I guess it does with a 1.6 update. Anyways, this rain caused the entire area to spawn with trees and these bushes. So interesting. Since it was raining, I was hoping to fish some catfish, but it seems they don't spawn anymore in summer. After sleeping, it seems a pink fairy visited the farm. Fairy's power actually helped in the farm by fully maturing a plant. I'm very thankful for this. At the very least, I have a fully grown melon now. These are extra money I did not ask for. Anyways, I went to Robin's and finally crafted or had her made me a stable. We can finally have a horse. Traveling is much faster. Let's go. I went to the beach to fish for some puffer fish. I was actually looking for some ocean jelly because there's a recipe that Willie sells. It's called a fish smoker. And I need an ocean, river, and lava jelly to make this. And what it actually does is you'll just need one coal to smoke a fish. And that fish will be double the price when you sell it. It's very great. It seems I have reached level 10 in fishing, and I chose the angler perk, so my fish will be worth 50% more. Look at all these lovely sprinklers. I don't need to water my plants anymore. Trying out a new thing called the mushroom log. It basically produces mushroom every 4 days. But if you plant a wild tree, it would produce more mushrooms. I'm not sure how it exactly works, or I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. But anyways, that's a mushroom log. Went to the traveling merchant again, and still no red cabbage. Then went to the beach again to get some ocean jelly, so I can finally make that smoker I've always wanted. And after getting the ocean jelly, I went home, chopped a bunch of trees I planted days before. Only need one more jelly. It's the cave jelly. I already have some river jelly stored in my chest. So yeah, just the cave jelly left, and I can make some smokers. It is a great day today. My stable is finally done, and now I have Taxi the horse, further increasing my movement speed. It's so much easier traveling now with the horse, but sometimes it gets blocked like this. Anyways, no problem. I'm going to the mountains to fish for more money. Afterwards, I went to the cave to finally look for that cave jelly I always wanted. It honestly took a while. I've been getting a bunch of trash instead. I have 2 river, 2 ocean, and 1 cave jelly. Just one more, because I plan to make like about 2 smokers before I'm done. Day 37. My poppy is finally ready to harvest. Another item off the community center list. Next, I crafted a bunch of preserve jars so I can start making some jams. I needed this for the artisan bundle in the community center. Alright, also I already made this smoker, and as you can see, smoked fish sells pretty high. Like twice the amount of money than you normally would sell a fish. So this is a real game changer in being rich by fishing. Let's go. But I think it's pretty dumb to smoke fishes that doesn't really have high value, because it requires coal, and coal is like 150 gold. Anyways, I went to the community center and donated a bunch of stuff I haven't donated yet that was lying on my chest, rotting. I managed to complete the lake fish bundle and the construction bundle. I went to Clint's to open up some geodes, donated a whole bunch of stuff at the museum, and upgraded my pickaxe to gold at Clint's, leaving me with almost no money left. So poor man's got a fish. And look at all the money I made from smoking the fish. Oh my god. I'm rich again. The next day I did a lot of cleaning at the farm. Like shaving some grass, chopping some wood. You know, cleaning. I also planned to expand my farm. But since it's Wednesday, I couldn't really buy any seeds. So I just plowed the land and added some quality sprinklers on it. Day 39. After taking care of my business in the farm, I'm gonna go to the Luau festival. Luau? Luau. I had saved up a golden cauliflower, so I'm pretty sure everyone would like this. And yes, they did. It's the best soup they've ever tasted. I'm proud of my cauliflower. Day 40. Still no freaking red cabbage. I hate this guy. I then went to Clint's and picked up my golden pickaxe. I then bought more melon seeds as I was expanding my farm. Look at the amount of money I'm gonna earn in the future once I have fully established this farm. So for the remaining time of the day, I went to the mines to get more silver ore so I can make more quality sprinklers. And since there was a thunderstorm tomorrow, I crafted some lightning rods and placed it on my farm so I can get some batteries out of it. Day 41. Some of my melons are already ready for harvest, and I'm gonna place them on my preservative jar for more money. And not missing this chance of rain, I went to the ocean to fish a red snapper. Went to Piers and bought more melon seeds. Then spent the rest of the day fishing for catfish at the Mystic Forest. Day 42. I harvested more melons and leveled up my farming skill. Then manually watered some melons since I didn't have that much sprinkler yet. I need to go to the mines and get some ores. I visited the traveling merchant again, and there was still no red cabbage. And decided to mine all day so I can make more sprinklers. I managed to reach the last floor and got myself a skull key, which now we have access to the skull cavern once we fix the bus. The resources I mined, I managed to craft 5 quality sprinklers and laid it out my new farm. I reached level 8 farming and I can now make some kegs. Let's go. For day 43, since I was rich, I went to Robin's and upgraded my coop to a deluxe coop. Yes, an extra 4 slot on our animals and no need to restock on the haze if ever it's raining or something. I then went to cleanse and bought a lot of copper ores since I couldn't be bothered to mining some copper ores. If you're wondering where I got the money, it's from all the smoke fish I sold. Look at this 50k right here. Since I had a very bad luck for today, I decided to just clean the farm. Honestly, I didn't know that there was a bridge up here. But I can chop more trees up there. I then made a bunch of tappers for my tree farm. Now we just need to wait for this so we can make a bunch of kegs. I then went to the community center, completing some bundles like the ocean fish bundle, summer crops bundle, and exotic foraging bundle. I also finished up the quality sprinkler area that I needed and placed some torches above the sprinklers. This is a new thing on the 1.6 update where you can place torches on the sprinklers. Day 44, I went to the mines again to get more gold ores because I needed them. Day 45, I placed a dinosaur egg at the incubator. Hopefully I get a dinosaur to make some dinosaur mayonnaise, which actually gives me a good return. Alright, I sold the chicken chicks since I didn't really need it. I want to buy more ducks instead as they make duck mayonnaise, which is more cost efficient. So yeah, I went to Marnie's and bought a rabbit and more ducks. The rabbit was for the rabbit's foot to donate to the community center. Next, I went to Robin's and had her make me a barn. It was finally time to have some cows in the farm so I can make some cheese and get some milk. And for the rest of the day, it was catfishing for more money. As I was gonna go home and head to bed, look at the time, it's 1:20 a.m. I just couldn't get past my freaking cat blocking my way. I could not sleep at all. I tried my best. I panicked. I didn't want to lose sleep. I kept trying and trying. I swear to God, this cat. But yeah, I managed to clutch it and went to sleep. So look at all these money from the smoked catfish. It's crazy. These things are money makers. The smoke machine is the best thing ever for fishermen. The next day, I cleaned up a bunch of trees at this area right here as I needed wood, stone, and some other stuff. And look, it's clean now. But I'm gonna replant the seeds so I can come back here again and gather more wood in the future. I then went to Pierce and bought a bunch of melon seeds. And I realized I forgot to plant some sunflowers. Good thing I checked whatever Pierre was selling for the summer or else I would have missed the sunflower. Actually, my bad. I decided to plant some radish instead as I didn't have enough time to fully grow some melons before fall starts. I then went to Clint's and upgraded my axe to a gold axe. Then went to the community center and completed the quality crop bundle and donated some random stuff I had for the community center. I wasn't done selling smoked fish yet as it was still smoking. Look, it's another 26k plus the farm items I had like dried melons from the dehydrator. Alright, a dehydrator is a new thing as well in this game. It takes like 5 fruit or vegetables and dehydrates it. The next day, welcome to the new episode of Still No Freaking Red Cabbage. Let's go! But I needed to buy some rare seeds because I needed them because I need to plant them on fall and it takes the entire fall to grow them. I then went to the museum and donated a bunch of stuff that I had. And for the rest of the day, it was spent at the mines. Day 48. It seems the barn has finished. I just need to buy some cows and fence this so that my cows doesn't go through random places. I went to Marnie's and purchased a bunch of cows. Then I went to Clint and opened a bunch of geodes. And with nothing to upgrade, I upgraded my copper hoe. I Then went to Robin's and immediately upgraded my barn to a big barn. I was kinda loaded in cash right now. I then went to the lake near Marnie's and participated in something called the Trout Derby, where you get like these tags where you can exchange them for rewards. Tags, I mean this thing right here, the golden tag, and you exchange them from this guy on the tent. I got myself a tent kit. This is a new addition to the 1.6 update. You can basically rest anywhere as long as you have the tent, but it has to be outside, placed outside any structure. So you can just sleep, like let's say we're in Ginger Island, I can just sleep outside with a tent. Not going home anymore. Day 49, went to the traveling merchant. Still no freaking cabbage. I then went to the community center thinking I had enough money to unlock all the bundles, but I actually don't have. I mean, I was close, but I didn't have enough to fully unlock it. Since I was poor and had nothing to do, I went to the mines to mine some ores. Honestly did not expect to become very lucky here and got a prismatic shard from a dust sprite. I did not even know I can get one from these monsters. I now had a reason to go to the desert ASAP so I can get the galaxy sword. After selling some of my farming produce, I actually had enough, so I can now go to the desert on the next day after unlocking the last bundle for the vault. I made some fences for my cows so they don't just wander around everywhere they can. And since my coop's fence keeps breaking, I decided to craft them some hardwood fences so they won't break easily. I then went to Clint's and upgraded my watering can. And finally donated the 5,000 gold I had remained to finish up the vault. Now I'm left with 196 gold. But I finished the vault. And with nothing else to do, I went around Stardew Valley chopping some wood as I needed a lot of wood. The next day, finally, I can go to the desert. So I totally forgot how to interact with this bus, but it was actually just this machine on this left side. Anyways, I was at the desert. It's finally time to exchange this prismatic shard into a galaxy sword. Heck yeah. I then went fishing for a sandfish just to finish my community center. And went exploring in the Skull Cavern as I was very curious. Since I had a galaxy sword on hand, I don't think there's a threat in this caverns for me. And finally, I found my first batch of iridium ore and I also got another prismatic shard. Crazy. Managed to reach floor 20 before calling it a day. And as I slept, I got a cutscene here where there was this guy throwing some mysterious boxes all over the place. So yeah, there's a new thing called Mystery Box on the 1.6 update. You basically go to Clint to open it like a geode and you get some random stuff from those boxes. Alright, let me just show you the melon harvest, because you know, money and melon and the sound of harvest is nice for the ears. Anyways, with a bunch of oak resins already collected from making tappers early on, I made a bunch of kegs and I'm gonna place all of them with melons. I then went to Clint and upgraded my trash can to a copper trash can. And for the rest of the day, I decided to go back to the desert and explore the Skull Caverns. I got lucky enough to get a lucky ring from these boxes right here. Now that's something. Let's go. Upon arriving home and sleeping, I reached level 10 farming and I got the Coop Master perk. Befriending Coop animals became quicker and incubation time cut in half. Next day, since I had a lot of money on hand, I bought a bunch of goats to my barn. I then went to the Mystic Forest to do some fishing as it was raining and I want more money. Hell yeah! 30k. The next day, the traveling merchant was here and still no freaking red cabbage. But since it was still raining, I spent the day fishing for more catfish again. The rain is your best friend in this game. Look at the amount of money we get from the catfish smoked. Day 55. I went to Marnie's and bought 2 auto grabbers, so I don't need to milk my cows and goats, and also don't need to collect them eggs. It will collect by itself. This was a win, but at the same time, I'm poor now. They're selling some stuff at Pierre's store, so I had enough for a bus money. I went back to the Skull Cavern and farmed more iridiums and other various ores. And with this is the last batch of smoked catfish I had. Day 56, the last day of summer. I made a bunch of crystallariums so I can farm some rubies with them. And those rubies will be exchanged for some spicy eel, which gives +1 speed and +1 luck, which is very useful in everyday cases, actually. Not just mining or other stuff. I didn't want to cleanse to buy a bunch of coal, but I think buying wood and converting them to coal would have been much better. I checked the traveling merchant again. Still no freaking red cabbage. What do? I then went to the community center and donated some stuff I had on hand, like the sunflower, some wool, sandfish. Completed the specialty fish bundle, the artisan bundle. And afterwards, I went to the museum and donated a bunch of stuff I have collected over time. And for the rest of the day, I just chopped some wood since I had nothing better to do. And then I went to the beach to participate in the dance of the moonlight jellies. And that's the end of summer. Day 57, the first day of fall. I'll be removing my corns as I don't need them anymore, and I'll be changing all my crops to pumpkins aside from the ones I need for the community center. I've been plowing a lot of land, but it seems a bit easier because I now have a silver hoe. After plowing the land and readying up everything, I went to Pierre's store to buy a bunch of pumpkins and some other seeds I need for the community center, like some eggplant and some yam seeds. I wanted to be more organized on fall, as I was thinking of finally starting decorating my farm. Since I'm having a lot of money now. Well, not really right now. I only have 37 gold. But you get a picture. Anyways, so yeah, I made an isolated area for the yam and the eggplant. And I'm just gonna fill all my areas with pumpkin instead, so it looks much organized. I also planted my rare seeds. I did not want to forget about these. These take like 24 days. But with some speed growth, should be much earlier. I didn't really have enough time to water everything. So I just added some fertilizers on my newly planted pumpkin seeds. And we'll head to bed once I'm done with this. The next day I went to town and I saw Robin and Lois making a bulletin board. This was where special orders are made. It's basically orders that only appear once a week. And there's about 2 you can choose. So I need to choose properly and do some orders, which we will be receiving like new recipes after completing some. For now, I went to the river and fished for some tiger trout to complete one of the bundles in the community center. And I got one. So I immediately headed over and completed it, submitting the tiger trout I was missing. And got myself some bait. I also finished my animal bundle with a large milk I had. I then went to the mines to look for a dwarf scroll 1, which I got. And now I can submit it to the museum and get myself a dwarf book so I can understand some dwarven language. Afterwards, I went to the bulletin board to pick up a quest I can do. And I chose the biome balance, which I need to fish some 20 pieces of river fish. So I fished at the mountain lake since I needed money as well. So this was a good thing, a really good thing. 2 birds with 1 stone. On day 59, I just roamed around Stardew Valley and chopped some wood because I need woods to make some more kegs. I also bought myself a pig as I needed some truffles for the community center. Lastly, I placed down more kegs and had some melons processed into wine. And with the remaining time I had for the day, I went to the Skull Cavern to explore and gather some iridiums. The next day, I gathered more wood as I wanted to level my foraging skill as well. Then I bought more goats from Marnie's since I needed more animals to, give me more money each day. I then went to Robin's and had her upgrade my house so I can have access to a kitchen so I can cook some stuff for the chef bundle. Unless I get them from Gus' shop, then that's fine too. I went to the community center to donate a bunch of stuff I already have, like some forageables. I completed the full foraging bundle. Afterwards, I resumed my fishing journey to get like 20 river fishes for the quest and also to get more money. I then had a good night's rest after finishing my quest. Day 61. Gunther paid me a visit as I had donated a bunch of stuff to the museum already. And as a reward, he gave me a key. A mysterious key, but it was actually a key to the sewers. Oh look, it's a traveling merchant again. And oh look, there's no red cabbage. I then went to Clint's and had my pickaxe upgraded to iridium. Went to Gus' shop and he was selling a mackerel. We needed this for the chef bundle, which was great. Then it seems if you finish a bulletin board quest or a special order quest, you get a prize ticket where you can use it on Lois' house. There's this like vending machine or reward machine you can interact with, and you receive random, not really random prizes, but I guess predetermined prizes. I got myself some broccoli seeds. And with the key on hand, I went to the sewer and visited Krobus. He was the person who was staying at the sewers. He sold a bunch of stuff, like a void egg that we need, and also a star drop. But I currently don't have any money to buy one, so I'm kind of sad with that. I need to collect 20k to buy a star drop. The next day, it was raining and it was time to make a lot of money again. So I caught a bunch of catfish from the river. And yeah, that's about it. That's the whole day for day 62. My dinosaur egg finally hatched, and I called it Granardzilla. Basically, I'll just add Zilla for every name my baby dinosaur hatch. So I'm gonna need to incubate another dinosaur egg since this thing already hatched. I visited the traveling merchant again, and yeah, no cabbage. Disappointment is very high right now. I then went to Clint's and picked up my pickaxe and also upgraded my axe to the iridium axe. Alright, I forgot about it. I've actually finished a certain area in the community center, and now we have unlocked panning. The boulder here near the mines is gone. I then went to the desert to explore the Skull Cavern once more. I reached mining level 10, but it was hard to decide if I should get blacksmith or prospector. But I think blacksmith would be better. I can just sell the iridium bars and buy more coal. Day 64. I crafted more kegs to place. I really need a shed to put all of these kegs inside. But anyways, I also got myself a new hat from the Skull Cavern. Now I look like Jing from Hunter x Hunter. I went to Robin's and constructed myself a shed, finally. I placed it beside my future greenhouse. Then I went back to the Skull Cavern and spent the whole day here mining for some ores. Day 65. I got my iridium axe back from Clint, and I then upgraded my hoe to a golden hoe. After processing some mystery box, of course, which I got a mystery shirt. Next, I checked the bulletin board and did Gunther's quest of getting 100 pieces of bone for his studies. So I went to the mines and hunted some skeletons for the bones. And honestly, I hate this quest. It's very hard to find some skeletons. I wish I had the monster cusk recipe already. Day 66. I transferred all of my kegs to the shed I recently had Robin made. So now we don't need to look at those abundant of kegs outside the farm. It's now inside the shed. And since it was raining, I will spend the rest of the day just fishing. And the best spot for this would honestly be in the Mystic Forest, where you get mostly iridium leveled catfish. Day 67. I resumed killing some skeletons for their bones. As the week is almost done, I need to collect 100 of them before the week is up. I also went to cleanse earlier to get my golden hoe and upgraded my pan to a silver pan. The next day, I crafted 2 more smokers as 2 wasn't enough. 4 should be enough to keep up with all the fish I'm gonna smoke. I then went to Robin's and had her made me another silo so I have more stacks on hay that's stored. And donated a bunch of stuff to the community center. I have completed the Enchanters bundle and just a pumpkin left to complete the Fall Crops bundle, and I would have a greenhouse by then. I'm not too worried about the season because I will have a greenhouse, so whenever the red cabbage is available, I will plant it. Since I had a lot of money, I decided to just buy a lot of pumpkin seeds and just store it in my chest if ever I need to plant more pumpkins. And then continued my quest to get bones as I haven't finished it yet. This is a pain in the butt, I swear. Getting bones takes a while since I don't have any monster cusk. I sold a bunch of my iridium because I have too much. And I made a bunch of money. Yay. The next day to the mines again as I haven't finished my quest yet. Woo! I'm close though. 87 over 100. Just a few more skeletons. After completing the quest, I went to cleanse and upgraded my pan to a golden pan. Then dropped off the skeletons that Gunther needed. I built a more decent road than my cobblestone road path. Trees I have planted for harvest is now ready for harvest. I chopped them all down for some hardwood and wood. Then replanted the seeds afterwards. Day 70. It was finally time to harvest the pumpkins, but I didn't really want to harvest this yet because the other side of the farm hasn't fully grown yet. So I'm gonna harvest them together. So I'll wait for this other side to fully, grow. Then I'll harvest everything in one go. I just got one so I can submit it to the community center. At the community center, I finished the chef bundle after my pig found me some truffles. Also finished the fall crops bundle, finishing everything in this section and rewarding myself with a greenhouse. Let's go. Yeah. I then cleaned out the area by using my scythe to gather some hay as well from these grasses. I moved my crystallariums inside my house since I had some space. Added more stone path. I'm gonna change the location of my barn. I want it to look better, not there. So that's about my whole day for day 70. Next day, my dinosaur egg was fully ready to be hatched. So I sold my bunny since I didn't need it anymore. I already got the rabbit's food I needed for that community center. So I had a new baby dinosaur called Mapuzilla. I then harvested and replanted all the pumpkins in the farm. It's gonna earn me more money in the future. Let's go. I also decided to expand my farm some more since I had more seeds I still have on my inventory, and because I had enough materials to actually make a bunch more sprinklers. I then went to Robin's to make another barn. I wanted more animals. I didn't want the planting life. I want more barns, so I just rely on the animals to make me money in the future. The weekly quest, I chose Robin's quest on getting like 80 hardwood since I visit the Mystic Forest anyway. So why not? I manually watered my pumpkins since the sprinklers does not work on the same day. But at the very least, we don't have to worry about this tomorrow. I also added torches on the sprinklers so we can see in the dark. As for the new barn location, I fence it up with some hardwood fences so they don't break. This entire area will be dedicated to my goats and cows. Day 72, I gave the trees on the side where I farm trees some fertilizers so they will grow much faster. Then continued making some paths in my farm so I can go to places much easier. My farm is slowly looking good, I guess. I'm gonna make a coop down here because I want more ducks as well. Wanted to go to town to buy some seeds, but it seems there was actually an event going on here. I totally forgot about the Valley Fair. But if I earn 2,000 points, I'm gonna buy myself a star drop. So there's a trick right here. But for now, we need to earn some points. I just basically played this shooting game right here with a slingshot. I scored a lot of points so I can like spend these points to gamble. I got a score about 78. And that means with my 100% accuracy, I got a 500 star tokens. And with these tokens, I went to this guy and bet on green. In this game, there's a 75% chance on winning on green than orange. I don't know, but that's a fact that everyone knows of in this game. So yeah, always bet in green and you'll eventually win enough points to get, you know, everything you need on the shop. So I kept playing until I earned about 4,600 points, and that should be enough to buy most of the stuff I need. So I bought myself this star drop. This will be my second star drop, increasing my energy further. Yeah. And I also bought the other stuff like a scarecrow. I don't know where my horse went, but I still haven't finished chopping some wood in the Mystic Forest. So I drank myself some espresso and some spicy eel and went to the Mystic Forest to chop all the hardwood here before heading to bed. The next day, I went to cleanse and upgraded my pan to an iridium pan. I currently don't really need this, but I have excess money and iridium bars anyway, so I decided to just upgrade all my tools. I then went to the desert and bought a bunch of starfruit to plant for my greenhouse, because I think this is the one fruit that gives the most money. After buying the seeds, I then ventured out in the skull caverns to collect more iridium ores. Also, because the only 2 skill left I haven't mastered or level 10 is combat and foraging. I wanted to max them so I can check out the new room for the 1.6 update, which is masteries, where you can further enhance your skills. It is now a daily routine of mine to visit the Mystic Forest, since I don't really know where else to look for hardwood aside from this area. I then proceeded with beautifying the farm because, you know, so my farm would look nice. It would be nice and pleasing to the eyes. I'm gonna give a farm tour at the end of the 100 days so you can see everything that's happening on the farm. Not really good at designing, but look, I added some wood flooring. I think my tree farm looks more decent than before. I also added them to my farming plot so it would look decent. And some pathing towards the greenhouse and the shed. So look. Compare this to day 1. This is way better now. Day 75, I just went to the Mystic Forest, visited the traveling merchant, and added a bunch of floorings on my farm to look nice. Day 76, I'm almost done with Robin's quest. Just a few more hardwood, and I'm done with the Mystic Forest farming for hardwood. But not really. I think we need a lot of hardwood at the end game. After the visit to the Mystic Forest, I decided to go to the Skull Cavern once more to farm more iridiums. I reached level 9 in combat and I can now finally make some iridium band, a way better accessory than my glowstone ring. Alright, some of my pumpkins actually finished making, so now I earn like 66k from my farming goods. That's crazy. Here's another episode of all my trees fully grown. Time to chop them all. It's very satisfying actually, chopping them in a straight line. I'm very happy with this. Then went to Marnie's and bought more goats as Robin finished the upgrade on my other barn. Went to Clint's, upgraded my watering can to a steel watering can. Had Robin upgraded my barn to a deluxe barn, further increasing my animal capacity in this barn and also automating the food process. Went to Mayor Lewis' house to claim a bunch of prizes I haven't gained yet because I was, busy. So I got a peach sapling, some mixed seeds, and some mystery boxes. And for the rest of the day, I was focused on leveling my foraging skills, so I just went ahead and chopped a bunch of woods randomly in Stardew Valley. Day 78, the bookseller was here today and I had a bunch of money. It was time to actually buy a bunch of books from this guy. So I bought a bunch of books, especially The Way of the Wind, The Horse, and Old Slytherin for movement speed. There's actually part 2 of The Way of the Wind. I just need to use Way of the Wind part 1, then talk to this guy again, I believe, and he would give me Way of the Wind part 2. And yes, he did. That actually sucked all my money. I have no more money right now. But look, I have unlocked a bunch of books now. There's still a bunch left though. And since I was poor, it was time to fish more catfish and smoke them for money at the Mystic Forest. I even got myself the Neptune's glaive, but I already have the Galaxy Sword, so there's no point. I checked out my greenhouse to see if my ancient fruit was ready. I got my red cabbage, and that basically sums the day. Next, with the barn upgrade finish, I bought more goats for my new barn. I didn't want to robins to upgrade my shed to a big shed. I needed more space for more kegs. And for the rest of the day, since it was raining, I spent it all on fishing. Day 80, something I totally forgot. I actually had some sweet gem berries already. So I gave them to the statue at the Mystic Forest and I got my third star drop. Let's go. Then started setting up to build my next thing at the Robins, which would be a coop. I'll be putting it here, just below the barns. This would be a great place, so I can just visit them and head pat them very close. I then went to Clint's. I got my watering can and then upgraded it to gold. I picked up a weekly quest for Linus, taking in 20 trash, and I know just the best place for this. The mines. Also, there was this thing where if you throw an ancient doll at the pool, you will get a faraway stone and that bone serpent will spawn. It came with a 1.6 update, and with the faraway stone, we can use it at the wizard's tower at his basement to get the Meowmere. What the Meowmere is basically a strong sword in Terraria. Place all the trash in the garbage bin that Linus wanted me to place and got my reward of 500 gold. I then went to Robin's and had her make me a new coop. This is where our voidlings are gonna be, the void chickens, which I need to go buy from Krobus. So yeah, I went to the sewers to buy some void eggs. And also, I totally forgot about this star drop. So I bought the 20k gold worth star drop from Krobus, further increasing our energy. And this is our 4th star drop. For this day, I decided to spend it at the Skull Cavern since I had nothing better to do. I just can't think of anything better to do at this day. Well, the main thing is basically upgrading my combat to level 10. I just wanted to try the new 1.6 update on masteries. 82. I tried going to the wizard's basement, but I don't seem to have enough friendship level with him yet. So I guess no Meowmere for us just yet. I then went to Clint's to get my gold watering can and upgraded it to an iridium watering can. Next, as I headed to the mountain lake, here I see a cutscene with Linus enjoying his skinny dipping in the river. Feels good. I was pretty rich and I wanted a hammer, so I bought myself a galaxy hammer. Also got myself a skeleton mask as a reward from the Adventurers Guild and made my horse wear it. I reached level 10 in foraging and got the lumberjack perk because we need some hardwood. For the next day, I went to the mines to gather some gold ores. I then attended the Spirit Eves Festival and sped run through the maze and got myself the golden pumpkin. I'm not sure if the cart on the right is new, but anyways, check this out. I don't remember having this cart when I last played this game. Day 84, it's harvest day. Time to harvest all our pumpkins and turn them to juice and turn them to profit. There's a new mastery in 1.6 where you can just harvest all of these pumpkins using a scythe. That would be very useful right now because there's a lot of them. I then added a bunch more kegs in our new bigger shed. So yeah, for the last day of fall, everything's looking good. Everything's looking like they're in place. Look at my farm. Compared to day 1, we've come so far already. And winter's coming soon. And hopefully my farm can manage without me. I'm going to be spending most of my winter at Ginger Island. For now, I think I'll ask Robin to make a pond here. And there's a big space. I don't know what to place here, so I'll just place some random decorations. I also plan to expand my farm some more. These are the spots for quality sprinklers. I then got rid of all the grasses that were growing in my farm. So now we have a pretty clean area on the left side of the farm. I still have no idea what to put here. Alright, day 85, or the first day of winter. The very first thing I should look for is some forageables and some forageables at the sea. I'm very close to completing my community center, and I made sure not to forget about putting heaters on my animal farm barn houses. The only thing left for upgrade right now is the trash can. And once I made this iridium, I think I've done every upgrades I can. For planting, I don't really have that much seed, but I made some powder melons. And with my iridium watering can, look how easy it is to water them now. I then went to Robin's and had her upgrade my coop to a big coop. No animals is living here. I just wanted to upgrade it to a deluxe one. Or I'll buy some ducks along the way. All I did basically for the day was look for some winter forageables so I can complete that community center area. I finally got the snow yam. And I think I already have the crocus. So that's that. And here's one of the things I need, the nautilus shell. And finally, I would complete that bundle as well. So before the day ended, I went to the community center to donate all the stuff I have amassed. And complete the bundles that have been missing out. So we completed the dye bundle, the field research bundle, and the fodder bundle. Also completing the winter foraging bundle, which in turn completes everything we needed to do at the community center. And now we were done. The community center has been fixed. Bye! The next day, I got a bunch of letters from everyone in Stardew Valley for the accomplishment I have made for the community center. Also, for the winter seeds I planted all of them at my farm. Since I have finished the bulletin board bundle, my friendship level with almost everyone in Stardew raised enough that I can go to their rooms. So I got Mayor Lewis purple boxers inside Marnie's home. I was also finally able to go to the wizard's basement. Now I can put the waystone. And here's a cutscene. And we finally got the Meow Mirror. Finally. Stats aren't really that great. It's just a level 4 weapon. But I'm gonna fuse this with my sword so it would look like the Meow Mirror. Upon heading to town, I got this cutscene where everyone celebrated the comeback of the community center. And look, this is, I think, one of the 1.6 updates where everyone's like wearing winter clothes. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. I just don't remember. I haven't played the Stardew for a very long time. I just came back for 1.6. Inside the community center, we have a scene here. A fight between Pierre and... I totally forgot this other guy's name. But anyways, it's Jojo Mart's guy. And he flew to oblivion. Well, let's go. For the remainder of the day, I went to the Skull Caverns to mine some ores, I guess. Day 87. I went to Robin's to upgrade my coop to a deluxe coop. I also bought myself a bunch of wood as I needed this to make some coal. I picked up a weekly quest to get some bug pieces for Willy. And went to the back room at Willy's so I can repair his boat. So now we have access to Ginger Island. It will be repaired overnight. And tomorrow we can finally go on an adventure to Ginger Island. I then broke a bunch of mystery boxes at Kalin's as I was curious what I can get from this. As you can see, there are a bunch of goodies here. I even got myself some mysterious hat and armor. And also this book. It's called the Book of Mysteries. It increases my chances of getting some mystery boxes, which is great, you know, because we want the mystery boxes. Yeah. So since we can't really go to Ginger Island today, I decided to hunt some bug meat for Mr. Willy. For the past few quests, there's a lot of monster quests. I really wish I had a monster tusk right now because it would make life so much easier if we had a monster tusk. I also totally forgot that I had now access to the quarry. It was time to explode this entire area and get all the loots we can get from this. Look at all those mystic stones. We would have needed it before, but now that we have a Galaxy, we don't really... Since I had some time, I entered the mysterious cave at the quarry. There were so many flying skeletons. I was kinda in trouble, but no worries. I had a bunch of potions on hand, so I probably wouldn't die. Yeah, probably. The end goal here was the golden scythe. I still haven't figured out what the good thing about this golden scythe was. But anyways, we got the golden scythe. And we exit and headed home and go to bed. Day 88. As excited as I was to going to Ginger Island, I just couldn't help but complete this bug meat quest first. Or else I would be like, you know, I don't want any unfinished quest before going to the next area. Day 89. I went to the mines again because I haven't finished my quest yet. And sometimes I realize I get to these places like this, similar to the other quarry I was in before where I got the golden scythe. I'm not sure if this is new or it was already here before, but I don't remember ever going into this place when I was playing the old version. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Anyways, bug me. After finishing the quest, it was already late, so I just decided to randomly fish at the ocean before I ended my day. I went to the train station and I had an encounter with a wizard here. It seems he had a problem with a previous lover. He was missing his magic ink, and so I agreed to help the wizard out with this magic ink. Here's the said wife, by the way. Anyways, I went home and slept. Day 90. I harvested most of my starfruit and pumpkin at the greenhouse, put them inside the keg house, then went to the desert to buy more seeds because I ran out. I'm probably gonna spend most of my money on starfruits. Went home and planted all of it. I then went to Marnie's and spent most of my money buying hay. I mean all of my remaining money buying hay, because I won't be going back to Stardew for a while. I was very excited to go to Ginger Island, but before that we had a scene here where Willy was very happy with our bug meats we collected. Look at that, it's moving, it's alive, and it made fish happy. We're happy, he's happy, everyone's happy. Now, it was finally time to go to Ginger Island. Yes. Alright, so upon arriving at Ginger Island, we can now get these things called the golden walnuts. And these are the things we'll be using as currency against the parrots in this place. So these parrots go crazy for these golden walnuts. And we got some tent kits here. Basically, a tent kit, it's a new item added to 1.6 where you can sleep anywhere except inside dungeons or mines. So that's great. You don't need to rush home anymore. We can just sleep within our tent. So with a single golden walnut I had, I gave it to the parrot to tell it that we're friendly towards it, and so the boy will be friendly with us as well. So here starts our journey for an Easter egg hunt with golden walnuts. So there are a bunch of golden walnuts all over this place. Some are obvious, some are not. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of hunting. I'm not really familiar with Ginger Island. I always stop playing this game after 100 days. I never really continued because I get distracted by other games after a while. But anyways, I know some of the locations of some golden walnuts, and I'll need some help with Google eventually. There's also this new thing they added which can find golden walnuts for you, but 1 million gold? No way, I'm poor. Anyways, I went inside the volcano dungeon to raid the place and find myself some crystals and to finally get to the forge where we can upgrade our weapons. Before that, let's gather some golden walnuts on this other side of this place. We'll need about 20 of these golden walnuts so we can have, we can have the pirates fix a certain house in the farm. Kinda pretty lucky to find these amount of crystals on the very first floor. Look at those. Look at those nodes. There's a lot of crystals, right? Cinder shard, I mean. What do they call crystals? Yeah. I get all those cinder shards. Anyways, within this volcano cave, there was a NPC that sold like a book called the Diamond Hunter. I should have some diamonds with me. And then boots that requires about 100 cinder shards. And I hate that. That's a lot of shards. Anyways, it was really late and I did not read the text for the tent properly. It seems I can't use it inside a dungeon. That's why I use a warp totem to go home and sleep. I finally reached level 10 in combat where I took a Desperado for crit strikes. And look at the farming things we got. We're selling all the juices. Dang, we're rich again. After taking care of my farm, I went to this area where masteries can be obtained. The final path. So basically, you choose these to get some masteries on it. I wanted the fishing mastery as it made you get like the challenge bait, which would yield triple the fish. So that's not a good thing to go for. The combat is also great since we will have access to some trinkets. But anyway, there's a bunch of new stuff here. And what I chose for the first one was the fishing. I should have chosen the farming mastery or the combat. I kind of regret choosing fishing. Anyway, since I was at Stardew, I went to Robin's to make a fish pond because I don't have one and I need some sturgeon roe eventually for a certain bundle in the future. And after all those shenanigans, it was time to head back to Ginger Island. Yay! I should have enough time to reach the forge and farm a bunch of cinder crystals. On this last floor before the forge, I actually got myself a pirate hat. So now I'm a pirate. Yahar har. I actually prefer this. It looks really cool. So I'm happy with this hat. Before I mess with the forge, I unlocked the door so I can have a shortcut towards here. So here's the forge. Let's go. It's time to forge our weapon and our accessories. For the weapon, I made it have more crit chance because my perks for combats are mostly crit chance and damage. So this would be great. And here's what the tent looks like. And we can sleep on it. Day 92, I raided the volcano again to get more cinder shards as I needed more and more to forge and to add enhancements to my items. I wasn't really sure if this was a good move, but I combined my iridium band with my lucky ring. I also fused my galaxy sword with the Meowmere. Next, I unlocked the left side of the map by giving this parrot 10 pieces of golden walnuts, and it made the turtle go away. And now, in order to fix this hut, I'll need 20 golden walnuts. So there's that. I need to collect some 20, but I don't think I have time, so I might use another tent again. I had a conversation with this old lady right here that was fishing. It seems her late husband died, and we need to find a heirloom of his to help her be happy. Anyways, I dug up the obvious spots where some golden walnuts maybe. They're basically something that doesn't look normal, I guess. Also, these ore looking things are mussels, and sometimes they would give some golden walnut. You can only get about 5 of them maximum. Also, fishing can yield golden walnut as well, but a maximum of 5 as well. I also found this place with crystals. I don't know what it does, but I figured out it was actually a game called like Simon Says. But I didn't really have time. I need to sleep or else I'll pass out. Well, the next day, it took me a while, but I eventually successfully won the challenge and got myself some golden walnuts from this. He gave me about 3 and I was happy with this. I had 20 now. With my 20 walnuts, I gave it to the parrots and they finished the house or fixed the house for me. And hot dang, this house looks nice. Look at the interior in this thing. There's even a fridge here. It's crazy. I started cleaning the farm because I don't know what else to do with this place yet. I don't know the locations of the golden walnuts. So I guess I'll start by farming all the seeds I have obtained so far. I also found this cave that had a frog in it. And he gave me a hint on what I should be planting or cultivate in the land so he would be happy. So he wants his field to be blooming with vegetables. He said I must grow him something sweet, delight, which is both pink and juicy. Obviously it's the melon, but I don't really have melon seeds right now. So I left and looked for more golden walnuts. While going to the right side of the map, I found a bird that dropped an emerald and an entrance right here that was hidden. So, having no idea what to do, I placed the emerald. My next goal was to fix this bridge right here so I can cross to the other side. It won't be happening anytime soon, so I increased my humble farm with some taro seeds. The next day, I explored the volcano again as I was needing some walnut seeds. And I know for sure that the monsters or sort of rocks here in the volcano give like some golden walnuts. I checked the wiki and it seems like there's a limit to the amount of golden walnuts it gives. But yeah, it's still a great source of golden walnuts because I don't really know where the golden walnuts is. But it's time for a hunt of golden walnuts after this dungeon crawling run. Also, one good thing is the monster inside this dungeon actually drops some seeds like taro trooper or the pineapple seeds. So it can further increase our farm. I plan to like bring other seeds in the farm as for a fact that you can grow anything in the Ginger Island farm without a care of the season. Except the winter crops, I believe. I don't know. Anyways, I added an enhancement on my Meowmere. And I got a vampiric on it. I think it's good enough. I wanted a Crusader so I could kill some mummies without bombing them. But yeah, Cinder Shards aren't really easy to get. For the pickaxe, I got Swift. Next, for this minigame, you can actually just water it and it will disappear and it will give you a golden walnut. I currently have 5 right now. 5 more and I can fix that bridge. Day 95, I mined some mussels and got myself some golden walnuts. So yeah, this entire day will be spent on looking for walnuts. That includes fishing for the walnuts. Whoever knew that there was actually a spot here where you can get a walnut? You just need to run up here. But I can't really see anything. But anyways, I got a walnut. Eventually had enough to fix the bridge. I actually have a total of 17. Never mind. Let me just say I have a total of 7 now. At the very least, we fixed the bridge. Next, I had to figure out how to save this guy. I tried mining it, but I guess the easiest way to unblock something would be to lay a bomb. And here we meet Professor Snail, who has been stuck here for a very long time, and he managed to survive with water and mushroom. Anyways, I mined the entire rocks and areas here, the bones and stuff. And I got a bunch of various new bones. I didn't know I could donate them to the archaeologist earlier, Professor Snail. But now I know. So I went to his tent and donated a few bones I had collected. But there's still a bunch of them I need to look for. Also, there were island surveys here which I easily answered correctly because with the help of our mobile phone. Searching in the wiki. So anyways, I got 2 free golden walnuts from this. Anyways, for the next day, since I had enough golden walnut, I fixed up the trader because I was curious what he sells. He sold a pretty unique stuff, basically. I can buy some banana sapling and mango sapling with some mussels and some dragon horns. But I don't really have any right now. I feel like this was a bad investment on golden walnuts. I could have used it on something else. Next, upon arriving home, there's actually a festival or an activity or event that was held at the beach. It's called the Squid Fest. I just need to fish some squid and I would get points and I can get rewards from this guy. It's the same as the Rainbow Trout Festival. Wanted to go home to get a weekly quest and just right there I had a weekly quest for squid, which means 2 birds with 1 stone. I went to the desert first to get a bunch of starfruit. I'm gonna take all my sprinklers and make another farm at Ginger Island because nothing is currently growing at my current farm. So why not, right? It's great that we'll have set up a farm in Ginger Island that keeps producing products for us. Unlimited amounts. Oh, did I mention I had an ancient fruit? So it was ready for harvest, so I put it on a seed maker. And I had to destroy some star fruit so I can plant the seeds I got from the seed maker. I then went to the mastery cave and got the fishing mastery. This was honestly a mistake and I hate it. I should have gotten combat or farming. Anyways, with my advanced iridium rod, I went to the beach and tried fishing up some squids. I didn't know I had to collect the rewards within the day because I wasted this effort because I didn't get any rewards. Since I've left the farm for a bit, look at all the income I had. Look at all these. The pumpkin juice is the #1 money maker right now. Also the mayonnaise and the cheeses. Day 97. I decided to fish more squid because I wanted to get the rewards, whatever the reward is. Getting the iridium reward, you get these. A bunch of stuff, a book, and a treasure chest. And a squid hat. I went to Clint's to open up the golden coconuts I have so I can get some golden walnut. But I got a mango sapling and banana sapling set. At the very least, I don't need to buy one from the traders. I don't need to hunt for some dragon horns. Then I went to the museum to donate a bunch of stuff I have gained recently. And well, it's not much, but at the very least, I had some. Anyways, I went back to Ginger Island to expand my farm. I mean, look at this. I have a lot of sprinklers on hand, and I'm not afraid to use them. I have still a whole day to actually hoe everything to place and plant the seeds, the star fruits I just bought. So yeah, I'm pretty good. I won't have problems with money after all my star fruits have grown. I'm just so glad I upgraded my hoe to an iridium hoe. Look how easy it is to hoe this entire area. I still expanded it a bit more and planted a lot of mixed seeds. I actually planted a melon here, a bunch of melons. Now we can finish that frog's quest. I won't be watering any of these. I'll leave it to the sprinklers as I don't have time. Seeing this merchant that could have traded my coconut for golden coconuts, I kind of regret that I just sold most of my coconuts I gained so far in the game to the shipping bin. I went inside the volcano again to farm some cinder shards and a bunch of golden walnuts if ever I encounter some. But I think the frequency of golden walnuts has decreased recently because maybe I already obtained a bunch of them. Remaining cinder shard I added enhancement to my axe and my hoe, giving it the archaeologist stat, and for the axe, swift. Day 99, I went back to Stardew Valley to do the weekly quest, and finally the prismatic jelly quest appeared. Oh my god, took a while. I then went to Robin's to make me another barn. I want more barn animals to make me more money in the future. This probably would be my last barn as I don't have enough space for a fourth one here. Or, I don't know, I might look for some space. For now, I'll place it here. I'll just move it after destroying some hardwood fences. So the hunt for the prismatic jelly begins. I just went through all of this area after area, killing everything on sight. I would eventually find that prismatic jelly slime. I spent the entire day in the mines, but I never really found it. There's also this giant tree in the 1.6 update where we will fix it with 100 hardwood and maybe a future neighbor will move in. Anyways, I continued my search for the prismatic jelly. I want to end this 100 days by finishing the prismatic jelly quest. And I found it on floor 47. It took me 47 floors to finally find it and kill it and get the prismatic jelly. I gave it to the wizard, and I guess that concludes our 100 days of Stardew Valley. I then went to the black market to see what it's selling or what they're selling. There was really nothing of interest for me right now. I was at the end of my 100-day journey, so I don't know what to do. So I watched the mermaid show, because why not? After completing the request from the wizard, I finally got the Monster Musk recipe. Let's go. So yeah, before we begin the day, I actually checked how bad my relationship to the villagers was and how many were missing on my collection. Oh my god, can we really achieve perfection? We'll find out. But the good thing is we have Ginger Island, so there's no worry about that. We could do Mr. Key's quest so we can get the stock list from Pierre so we can buy any crops we need. I was honestly just too focused in the community center on our first 100 days. So now we have a new goal, perfection. Let's go. One thing I need to do now is to keep watching the Queen of Sauce TV show. I then fished up the glacier fish for the collection. And look, a raccoon. He needs fish, basically the midnight carp and some mussels. I'm gonna think about this next time. One of my activities every week now is to give 2 gifts to people. Currently, I have a maple syrup. I'll be upgrading my gifts soon enough. I then see a cutscene where Krobus and the dwarf are fighting each other to the death. But the wizard came and stopped them from further engaging in combat, so they're fine. I went to the cave where there was a dark talisman. I need to get this for the wizard's quest of getting his magic ink. After clearing a bunch of bugs and some grass, I got the dark talisman. I checked the wiki and it seems salad is a good gift, I guess. No one really hates it. They like it. So this is good, right? I have a gift for them. Finally, I went to the black market and bought a bunch of seeds that I couldn't grow last time. So for the quest, like the amaranth for Marnie. And then went fishing on the submarine. Trying to get all the fish collections I'm missing. Like the blobfish and the other 2 fish in here. Next day, I went to the desert to buy some deluxe speed grow from Sandy. I'm gonna stack up on a lot of them so I don't need to come back here anytime soon. I also spent most of my money on buying starfruit seeds. I'm gonna plant them all in Ginger Island. I then went to Robin's and upgraded my barn to a big barn. More animals equals more money. Then I resumed giving gifts to everyone in town. I will not mention this anymore because I'll be doing this a lot for the upcoming days so I can raise up all their hearts to max. And since I unlocked another mastery slot, I went and got myself the combat mastery. Now I had the ability to gain trinkets and make an anvil and mini forge. Next day, it was time to harvest all my starfruit, and I wish I had gotten the farming mastery. It would be so much easier if I had the farming mastery to harvest all of this. Because with the farming mastery, the game will give you an iridium scythe, where you can just use a scythe to harvest everything you have. So that's my next goal, the farming mastery. I then destroyed all the tilled soil, so I can hoe it again and put some deluxe speed grow in it. Of course, I saved some spot to plant my ancient seeds. One of my goals is to have all this area here growed with ancient fruits, so we don't need to plant it again and just wait for the harvest. I then went to Marnie's to buy some goats. These lovely animals are gonna earn me a lot of gold from their milk. And since I had a dark talisman, I went to the train station to get rid of the statue and went inside, found a henchman, gave him some avoid mayonnaise so he would go away. I know he likes this stuff, even if it's like deadly. I also made sure to fish a void salmon for my collection before heading in and grabbing the magic ink that the wizard wants. I gave the ink to the wizard, and now I have access to this crafting station right here where I can now make myself a Junimo hut. I never really tried this, so I'm not sure how it works out. And also the obelisk where you can teleport to places like the mountain, the sea, the desert, and the island. I would prioritize the island so I can go to Ginger Island and here anytime I want. And for the rest of the day, I went to the mountain lake to fish, hopefully getting a midnight carp for the raccoon. And yeah, I did. What a happy raccoon tomorrow. The next day, I went to the mines to gather some iron ores, as well as kill some dust sprite for the burglar ring. Also, I needed to complete all my monster slaying quests so I can be a monster slayer. It's part of the perfection, I believe. I then went to Robin's to upgrade my barn to a deluxe barn. I also bought a bunch of wood because I needed some stock on this. I bought even more goats from Marnie since I had a big barn. We'll buy 4 more once the deluxe barn is finished. Gave the raccoon the midnight carp it was looking for. It's a happy raccoon now. He gave me a powder melon seeds we can plant on our farm. Nice. And now he's gonna find a wife. I then went to Ginger Island, mined some fossils and clay. I still haven't finished the donation on the bones. I also fished up a blue discus because I needed this for my collection. Here is my current progress on the fossilized bones I need. I'm lacking about 4 more. And for my farm, it's not really complete yet. I'm still lacking some quality sprinklers, but it's almost covered in quality sprinklers. I don't have any means of getting batteries right now, so I didn't think about getting some iridium. So quality sprinklers are enough right now. The next day, I spent some time fishing for fish in Ginger Island. I just needed the lionfish. I then went to the volcano to hopefully get some golden walnuts and also get a bunch of cinder shards, and as well as some pineapple seeds. By the time I was done with my adventure, it was already 11 p.m. and I need to go home and sleep. The next day, I went to the Mystic Forest and gathered some hardwood. I'll be doing this a lot for now because I needed some hardwood. I then spent my day on the mines to kill dust sprites, as I had a weekly quest by Clint to kill about 50 of them, which works really well because I'm not done with the monster slaying quest for the dust sprites. Yikes, I still need to kill about 118 dust sprites before I can get my burglar ring. I have a lot of monsters I need to slay before I can complete this. After helping Clint out with the dust sprites, he gave me a recipe for a geode crusher. That's pretty neat. So I made about 3 of them. And I then added more kegs as I had more ochre resins. I swear to God, automation makes things so great. And for the rest of the day, I spent it giving salad to everyone in town. I then found this shadow guy in this bush right here after I followed the trail of footsteps on the snow. And he gave me a magnifying glass. And with this magnifying glass, I can now find secret notes around monsters, chopping wood, farming, you name it. And yikes, there's a lot of them. I then ventured into the mines again. I just really wanted that burglar ring so I can combine it with my iridium band. I found one of those secret notes with a picture of the train station with an X on top. So out of curiosity, I went there, tried to dig up the area with the X. I got nothing, but I tried again besides the rock. And I got myself a treasure chest. Let's go. The next day, I resumed my monster slaying activities. And finally, with this last dust sprite, I was done. I then went to Robin's and asked her to make me a coop. This is gonna be my rabbit farm or bunny farm, as I needed some gifts for the villagers. I first moved my barn though, so it looks aligned. Honestly, everything was looking great at the farm, except for this bunny farm. It's so small though. I donated a bunch of stuff to the museum, some random artifacts I found while on my adventures. This strange doll was the funniest thing to look at out of everything. I went to Ginger Island to harvest my already done crops, and will probably make this better looking. Better aligned or something. Since one of my melons from the mixed seed I planted was ready for harvest, I went to the cave where the frog was resting. I don't know what this frog is again. But anyways, this frog right here. And yeah, he was happy with the result that I planted a melon on his land. And he gave me about 5 golden walnuts. The next thing he wanted to see was a wheat, a long yellow thingy. So sure, I'll plant some wheat. I then expanded my farm some more at Ginger Island. There's so many things I need to work on, and there is a Feast of the Winter Star in Stardew Valley. I should finish this soon. Sometimes this hoeing is wonky. I hate it. So I attended the event and gave Haley a prismatic shard. I didn't know at this point that she hated this thing and it ruined friendship than adding points to it. And Gus gave me a present. He was my secret Santa. After that event, I sold most of my artisan goods and headed to bed. Look at this. Yeah, starfruit wine. Money stonks. The next day, I automated my greenhouse and added more seed makers. And since I already leveled up my mastery again, I took the farming mastery, earning me the iridium size and an ability to make the statue of blessings. But the statue of blessings required a lot of stuff. I'm not able to craft it yet. About 999 stones, 999 fiber, and 333 moss. I then went to Ginger Island, and since I had 23 golden walnuts, I fixed the resort at the front of the beach. Now I had access to the southeast side of the island where there was a mermaid and a star-shaped area where if you fish here, you get a golden walnut. I also checked my farm and it was harvest day for my starfruit. What a joyous day. I'm gonna earn a lot of money from this. It seems I'm earning a lot of golden walnuts from harvesting these as well. And also, so I won't need to spend money on seeds, I'm converting some of the starfruits into seeds. The next day, I fixed this easy transport in Ginger Island by using my 10 golden walnuts. It should make my life more convenient going to the dig site and the farm. I then checked to see how much now it costs to find the remaining golden walnut, and 490k, I don't think so. I'm too poor for that right now. Then I went back to Stardew and had Clint open 4 of my golden coconuts and I got myself some fossilized skull. Then I went to the desert to fish up a scorpion carp. And for the rest of the day, I went inside the skull cavern to mine some ores. The next day, it was harvest day once again for my starfruit at their greenhouse. Happy, happy times. And look at the raccoon. He found a wife. He actually found a wife. Now he's hungry and needs some fruit. I gotta make some dried coconut and cherry jelly. Then I went to Marnie's and purchased a bunch of rabbits. The rabbit's foot are gonna be so useful in the future for gifts. And then I went to Robin's to upgrade my house because I wanted a cellar. And I bought a bunch of wood because I'm slowly running out of stock of this. A bunch of wood. I'm gonna turn them into coal. And for the rest of the day, I went to the Skull Cavern once more to explore and get a bunch of iridium and other ores. I then went to the mountain lake and had this really weird cutscene here. So yeah, Linus taught me how to make wild bait. Basically, wild bait makes it so that there's a chance to get double the fish. And it also makes it really fast to fish, I guess. I went to the Adventurers Guild to pick up my burglar string so I can combine it with my iridium band. Next day, I got visited by Kent. Kent is the wife of Jody and the father of Sam and Vincent. So there's another villager we'll need to max the heart for perfection. Hope he likes a salad. And with some oak resin production again, I made a bunch more kegs and filled out my big shed. Yeah. Since it was already spring again, I went to the mountain lake hoping to get the legend fish right here. But I didn't know it only appears in rainy days. I reached another mastery level and decided to pick up the foraging mastery so I can plant some mystic trees for the mystic syrups. And to make a mystic tree, I'll need 5 of each seed: acorn, pinewood, maple, and mahogany. I was able to make about 6 mystic tree seeds and planted it beside my tree farm or my greenhouse. I honestly forgot about farming. It's already day 2 of spring. I need to buy some seeds. I was still so focused on getting that legend fish. I totally did not do my research. But once I researched and knew it only appears on rainy days, I realized how dumb I was. I bought a whole bunch of cauliflower seed. I think it takes about 950 seeds to cover all my farm areas. So I got working on my farm. Hopefully I can finish by the end of the day. I also crafted myself a forge, which I didn't use the entire playthrough. The next day, I went to the train station because a train was passing. I was so curious if it would damage me and, well, now I know. Anyways, look, a train. I'm not sure why it does, but it's a train. Wow. Wow. I finally found a train in the game. There's even a bear print here. So moving on, I had Robin upgrade my coop to a big coop. Picked up a weekly quest from Emily, and I would deliver all of these gems to her. When I went to her house, she had this really weird dream. Well, it's something you see in Stardew. I then went to Ginger Island and fished inside the pirate's cave. I needed a stingray for my collection, and I got it. Since my wheat has fully grown, I showed it to the frog, and he had a really weird conversation. Reminds him of his old girlfriend and could tickle it with this. What? Hey, I got 5 golden walnuts. Let's go. Think about 15 more and I can go to Mr. Key's room. And when I went to bed, I had this cutscene on Jojo Mart. I'm not sure what's happening here. Like a lightning struck the door. The next day, I donated the fossilized head to the archaeologist, and I got about 6 golden walnut and a banana sapling. Let's go. I then went to the volcano and forged my iridium band with a burglar ring. I then reforged my galaxy sword into a crusader. Something I wanted so I can kill the mummy without a bomb. I then headed inside the volcano dungeon in order to get some dragon horn and some cinder shards. Since my coop upgrade was finished, I bought a bunch more rabbits the next day. I then planted a bunch of trees on my quarry, which would turn out a bad idea in the future actually. But anyways, I was happy to plant these trees as I needed a lot of wood, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money at Robin's to just get some wood. For the rest of the day, my dumb self went to the mountain lake again, hoping to get the legend fish. Day 118, I made the dehydrator and made dried coconuts for the raccoon. And since it was raining for the rest of the day, I tried catching some catfish for money. I believe it was this day I realized that it needs to be raining to catch the legend fish. So I went to the mountain lake again to try and catch it with my remaining time. I went home defeated because I didn't manage to catch it. I'll come again on another rainy day. The next day, it was harvest day for my Ginger Island farm. Look at all those star fruits. Let's go. And half of these are gonna be turned to seeds again. And with my garlic fully grown, I went to the frog again and told him it was fully grown and this is the thing he was looking for. And with that, I got 5 golden walnuts, closer to opening Mr. Key's room. Actually, it was enough, and finally managed to get inside. Now I met Mr. Key. Well, look who made it in my secret walnut room. Hey, it's me. There was a bunch of really interesting stuff here, but the most important right now is Pierre's missing stockless, and the horse flute, of course, because I want my horse everywhere I go. But with the Pierre's missing stockless, we can now buy a bunch of seed and plant them at Ginger Island so I can complete my collection. That's what we're waiting for. And I took a look at the perfection tracker and oh my god, we're at 30%. Will I really be able to make it to perfection by day 200? That's crazy. Look at the percentage in the 0 Obelisk, no Golden Clock, Monster Slayer, no Great Friends, 0. Okay, we got a lot of work to do. And we'll do it really well. 4 prismatic shards, pretty easy. I'm gonna do that one. I have no idea what this key's crop is. So I went into the Skull Cavern the next day to collect that 4 pieces of prismatic shard. Right, I never had time to explain about the new trinket system on the 1.6 update. Basically, this is an ice rod. It basically spews freezing rays to random enemies nearby and it freezes it to place. They can't move and they can't attack. And it's very useful against these flying creatures. It's amazing. Day 121. Harvest day again at the greenhouse. Yeah, baby. I then planted more of the ancient fruit seeds I had. Now it's expanding a little bit more and I should cover the entire place. For the weekly quest, I chose the island ingredients one, which needs to ship like about 100 pineapples. This was a mistake because I didn't have enough pineapples right now. The rest of the day, I spent it at the Skull Cavern since I wanted some ores. I'm running out of stock. For the iridium ores, I usually just sell them because they're worth a lot. After turning them to bars, of course. Some of my mystic seeds has already grown to a tree, so I added some tappers to them. So I gave the raccoon's request of dried coconuts and cherry jelly, and now he's happy. And he gave me a raccoon journal. This book had the ability to give me greater chances of getting some mixed seeds from harvesting weeds. And now he said he's starting a family. Oh my god, raccoons are so cute. Oh, another thing. I reached the maximum level of mastery. So now I got the mining mastery, enabling me to make some heavy furnace and a statue of the Dwarf King, which gives me a blessing every day. Furnace is really good because it only takes like 3 coals instead of the usual 5 coal for 5 bars. So on the next day, I changed all my furnace to a heavy furnace. For the statue of the Dwarf King, this is what happens when you interact with it. It gives you 2 choices of blessing, and the best thing I believe would be the +1 ore per mining node. Anyways, I didn't know that Willie actually didn't like the salad I gave. I give like salad to everyone, and I didn't know he did not like this. I did not pay attention because the wiki said salad is one of the food that everyone mostly likes. I didn't know he disliked this. Now I know. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at the friendship meters on everyone. I still have a lot of work to do. But the rabbit's foot will eventually save the day once our rabbit keeps making rabbit's foot. So I planted a bunch of pineapples, but honestly I realized I wouldn't be able to finish the quest. But at the very least, I would want some pineapples in the island, because why not, right? I then picked up another quest from Mr. Key's room. It says dangers in the deep. 50 key gems. Pretty rewarding. So I guess I'm gonna be doing this. Honestly, this is my first time experiencing this, and I never thought I would see the cave in a different manner like this. It's pretty interesting, honestly. Every monster have become stronger and tankier. Kinda annoying, but there's a lot of surprising elements in the mines now. Oh, these kind of monsters, like the blue skeletons, I never knew they exist. Kinda crazy. I reached about floor 10. The adventure didn't last long as it was very late already, so I went home to sleep. The next day, I went to the mines again to conquer this quest from Mr. Key, and I was surprised to see a flying squid randomly. And my god, these monsters give a lot of stuff. And this was my first encounter with a radioactive ore. Very interesting, honestly. So many new things. I'm just so happy that I get to explore a new side of the mines. But at the same time, I'm scared because everything is tanky and having more damage. And then around floor 40, the dust sprites turned into mushrooms. It's kind of cool how the entire ice place on floor 40 became like a forest with a lot of wooden fibers. I managed to reach about floor 51 before resigning for the day. And the ghosts are crazy on this floor. They charge at you very fast. The next day, I went to Robin's and upgraded my coop to a deluxe coop, automating the feeding system, because honestly I hate feeding the rabbit each time. So mining adventure once more after all my shenanigans outside the cave. And I think I need to remove my ice rod as it bugs out these spiders. I can't hit them when they're frozen mid-air. And also I hate these spiders, man. They're very tanky and they're annoying, and I found this really cool looking goggles that was on my adventure. Doesn't it look cool? Right? It works well. It suits well with the clothes I'm wearing. I don't know. I just like how it looks right now. The goggles and the t-shirt. Anyways, I reached about floor 75 before I went home and headed to bed. The next day, the adventure continues. And this time I encountered a magical skeleton. I eventually reached about floor 82, where the monsters here look pretty crazy and menacing. Look at this shadow people, the one with the crossbow. He shoots like a very fast arrow attack. And also this armored thing is now colored black. Before it was a white armor, I believe. And yeah, very interesting. Something amazing happened while I was fighting these monsters. I got my very first galaxy soul from killing that slime earlier. Crazy. Now I just need 2 more so I can make the infinity blade. I crafted myself a staircase just so I can reach floor 105 before I resign for the day. It's already 12:40 a.m. and I might pass out, so I hurriedly went back home and slept. The next day, since my rabbits are starting producing some rabbit's foot, I went to this Joja truck and got myself a special charm which increases my luck permanently, and that's pretty good. Inside Joja Mart, there was actually this thing called the missing bundle, which requires some high quality goods. I will be donating them once I have them. And so resumes our adventure to the mines. Just 15 or 14 more floors to go and we're done and we can get our key gems. So we can buy a bunch of stuff from the key store. I'm gonna buy the horse flute for sure. And finally, I reached floor 120. Yes, sir. And the next day, it was harvest day for my cauliflowers. So I harvested all of them. I had a bunch of them, but I wanted to expand my farm more when I think about the profits from all of this. So that's something I need to think about in the future. I then made a bunch more kegs and placed them inside my house as my big shed was already full. I then planted more cauliflower seed, and supposedly there was a desert festival being held today, but I think I'll go tomorrow because I have a lot of cauliflowers to plant. Actually, I finished a bit early and it was still 3 p.m. so I decided to go to the desert festival. I'm gonna dive into the Skull Cavern. There are a bunch of new stuff here. Well, basically this guy here that gives free food, and some stall that is being used by the villagers, and they sell like random stuff. There was also this mechanic called the Calico Egg, which we can trade for items here. So yeah, for the rest of the day, I decided to spend it all inside the Skull Cavern. The next day, I checked out the raccoon house and they already had a baby. Look at that one small baby raccoon popping out of the tree. Now this raccoon needs some dried morels and some eggs. After that, I went back to the Skull Cavern and spent the whole day there. Upon going and reaching floor 100, I met with Mr. Key and he gave me some iridium milk which increased my health. This was kinda weird, but anyways, yeah, free health. With the deluxe scoop upgrade done, I bought a bunch of rabbits from Marnie's. I then went to Robin's and had her upgrade my house to have a cellar, so I can finally age my wine and get more gold. I then accepted a weekly quest from Willy for tropical fishes, so I need to go to Ginger Island and fish a bunch of Ginger Island fish. Then I harvested all the ripe star fruit from my Ginger Island farm. And also, I got my bananas and mangoes now. I can give this bananas to the area where there was the stand that had a banana symbol. Next day, I visited the cave where the archaeologist was. And there was this guy, Fizz. He basically asked us for 500 gold and he can waiver 1% of the the perfection tracker. That's pretty neat. And on day 131, my star fruits and some ancient fruits were ready for harvest at the greenhouse. And after the seed maker was done making seeds out of the ancient fruits, I'm very happy that my ancient fruit farm is like slowly spreading out like this. I then stayed home and cooked a bunch of stuff that I could cook just for my collection quest. There's still a lot. I'm finished with the egg and the omelet, but there's a lot. I then went to the quarry to chop a bunch of wood that has fully grown. And this was a bad idea, honestly. I should have farmed a lot of oak resins and made this like an oak resin farm or something. I'll think about that once I chop all the trees here. Then went to grab another quest from Mr. Keys, and obviously the easier one is the 4 precious stones. I bought myself the horse flute and the key to the town, as these, or both of these, are very useful. I checked the perfection tracker and we're at 33%. Oh my god. We got this though. We got this. I then finished up the bone collection here and got myself some extra walnuts. I also received a recipe for some ostrich incubator. I placed a banana here and got myself some golden walnuts in return. Okay. I then fished for some random fishes at the ocean and the river. And I'm gonna store them thinking that I might need them for ingredients for cooking later on. Went to Pierce and bought 10 of each crops or random stuff that I'm gonna plant at Ginger Island, because I might need these for cooking recipes. I bought a bunch of sugar, wheat flour, rice, and some oil. Placed a bunch of materials I already have in the fridge and made a bread and sashimi and some ginger ale. I'm slowly completing this, right? Then my cellar was
Pusin
done
ko
and
lang
I
yung
crafted a
donate.
bunch of the old cask so I can slowly start aging some wine before our 100 days. I mean 200 days is up. Never knew it takes like 56 days to fully mature a
freaking
wine. That's
days.
crazy. For the other wine, I think I'm just gonna sell them. Next day, I donated a bunch of stuff to the missing bundle. I didn't really have the silver starred wine or the ancient fruit yet, so I'm not gonna finish this anytime soon. Because for the ancient fruit, I'm gonna turn them to seeds. And for the rest of the day, I just went around giving people gifts and also chopping some wood. But since I had some time left, I went to the Skull Cavern. But before that, I checked the fishes that were missing on my list. And oh my god, it's like I'm pressured to complete this for perfectionist. Maybe if I did not limit myself to 200 days, I can just chill and complete this slowly. But no, we have a goal of finishing everything here. The next day, more gift giving and Skull Cavern adventures for more ores and money from the iridium bars. Ooh la la. Next day, with nothing better to do, diving into Skull Caverns again. I'm honestly just waiting for my crops to finish so I can plant, harvest, again and again. And that's after I have given everyone gifts already for the week. So once summer arrives, there's a lot of stuff to do, like getting the legendary fish and other stuff I missed out, like the crops to plant. I still don't have the Pierce stock list. I prioritize the horse flute as before that, and also the key to the town. But we'll eventually get there. Alright, so I forgot about the Flower Dance Festival. So I went back to Pelican Town to attend the festival, watch a few people dance, and slept. The next day, I had Robin make me a new barn. This is where our ostrich are gonna live. Since I didn't have a space there anymore, I'm gonna place it besides my big sheds. I then went to the sewers to fish a slime jack. Just adding something for my collection. I then went to Ginger Island to plant some carrot seeds and broccolis. Went to Mr. Keys and bought the Pierce missing stock list. And looky, perfection update, 36%. Woo! And since I had 1,000,000 gold now, I was thinking of making a obelisk for the island. So I gotta hunt for some dragon horns here at the volcano. So that's what I did until I slept for the end of the day. The next day, I added even more kegs because I had some oak resins made already. So this was a lot of work, I swear to God. But thank God to automatically harvest all the saps from our trees if I connect them with some wooden paths. And also automate makes it so that just connecting these kegs to the chest will automatically insert the fruits inside. So like this, with automate mod, just place every fruit inside and it will automatically slap it in the kegs. I also made a bunch of crystallariums since I got some batteries from the bats. I then went to the Mystic Forest with a maple syrup on hand and I encountered the bear and he gave me some of his powers. I then crafted a bunch of mushroom logs. They produce mushroom and they would produce better with trees around them, and I automated it using a chest so it can just harvest it on its own. I then harvested a bunch of woods from the trees I planted on top of my farm. Also for the mushroom farm, I should have placed it on my resin farm because basically those things make certain mushrooms depending on what trees are around them. If I place it near mystic trees, it would make like purple mushrooms. And for the morels, you just need to place it on oak trees. I needed like 5 morels to make a dried morel pack to give to the raccoon so he can expand his family. So that was the plan once I realized this, but I did not realize it yet. I then gave Pierre the stock list and now I can buy all the seeds he usually sells on other seasons. So now we have no problem in collecting a bunch of stuff that we need to ship, plant, buy, or cook for recipes. And I'm happy with this. We can just plant it on Ginger Island. So yeah, once my star fruits are ready to be harvested, I'll be planting 15 each of these because I need to ship like 15. More than 15 actually because I need some for the recipes. I had a quest from Mr. Key on beating like 50,000 score on Junimo card. I thought I could do it because I'm a gamer, I'm gaming. But it was honestly very hard and very time consuming. I gave up, I ignored the quest. I suck at this game. So yeah, before the day ended, I cooked a bunch of stuff. The next day, some of my ancient fruits were ready for harvest, so I made seeds out of them. Good thing I only planted some radishes because I expected these fruits to be harvestable in this day. So I can plant them and finally fill up my greenhouse with more ancient fruits. I then placed a battery here, and there was a note from Mr. Keys to bring a rainbow shell to the train platform and leave it at the box. Alright, so I placed the rainbow shell and there was another note. It says to place 10 beets inside the mayor's fridge, and I don't have beets. I then went to the secret area, which held like another book to complete our collection. It's not really part of the perfection thing, but I just wanted to complete all the books. This new 1.6 update books. It's called the Alleyway Buffet something. Basically increases the chance of us getting items from trash cans. Next was the final day of spring, and it was harvest day for my cauliflowers. Actually, it was yesterday, but I waited now, so maybe I can retain the hoed soil, hopefully. If not, then I have to hoe it again. It was also time to harvest the star fruit at Ginger Island. So yeah, I'm gonna be rich. I have so many crops right now. I then planted all the various seed I bought at Pierce. I'm not really sure what are needed for recipes, so I just made like 5 of each. Alright, the first day of summer, day 140. I'm gonna start the day by hoeing the land, and then we'll go to Pierce and buy a bunch of blueberries. I was hoping to use my rain totem here, but I was kinda dumb. I did not know that you have to use a rain totem the day before you want it to rain. So it's not raining today at all. I thought it would rain the moment I use it. My bad. Next day! Woo! More ancient fruits to harvest and some of my star fruits. I think I can finally fill the entire greenhouse now with all my star fruit seeds I'm gonna make. Nope. But I planted some wheat seeds just so that it can retain the soil. Next, I spent the day trying to fish for catfish with some challenge bait so I can get like 3 fish at once. But there were actually no catfishes since this was done by my rain totem. So yeah. I got some woodskip though. Then went to Marnie's to stock up on a lot of hay for my animals. I then went to Robin's and bought a bunch of wood. I really had no choice, even if the price is 50 gold per wood now. And then I upgraded my barn to a big barn, even if there are still not that much ostrich there. I then made a bunch of dehydrators. These are gonna be useful for the blueberries. And then went to the barn and placed my ostrich incubator and placed the only ostrich egg I had. At the very least, we now have a starch on our ostrich egg farm. The next day, I grabbed a weekly quest and I did the one that Pierre wanted. Some 25 gold star vegetables. I don't mind this since I planted various stuff on my Ginger Island farm. Look currently at my relationships with the villagers and yikes. I have a lot of work to do. Oh my god. But don't worry, we're still at day 142. I went to the desert to buy some beet seeds since Mr. Key wanted me to put it in the mayor's fridge once it's fully grown. Went to Ginger Island and harvested a few crops that had already grown. And for the rest of the day, I went to the volcano in hopes of finding more dragon horns so I can finally make that obelisk for the island. Day 143. I was very tempted to just buying the golden walnuts from this parrot right here. Also so I can see how it looks. And then I went inside the volcano again because I really wanted that obelisk so I can just teleport to the island and back home. After a bit of pondering, yeah, I'm just gonna buy up some golden walnuts because I was really curious on what happens as well. So let's see what happens. Wait, it's overnight. I don't get it instantly. Dang. Anyways, I went back to Pelican Town to fish some fish I haven't caught yet, like the ghost fish, the ice pip, and the stonefish. So I only have a few missing ones left. They're basically the 2 legendary fish. I then cook a bunch of food before heading to bed, further increasing my collection for recipes. And here's the cutscene for buying the remainder of the golden walnuts. A happy, rich Joja guy with lots of bags of money.
Is it because I bought?
Next day, I caught the crimson fish for the collection. Day 145, I went to my greenhouse to harvest my ancient fruits and the filler wheat I have here. I can finally fill all of this out with ancient fruits for sure. Yup, and I did. I keep going to the Mystic Forest thinking that morels might spawn because I really need the dried morels for the raccoons, but morels only spawn on spring at the Mystic Forest. Then I went to Ginger Island and planted a bunch of beets, parsnip, potato, and kale. At this point of time, I didn't know that I need to ship like 20 pieces of each crop. I also gave this parrot 20 golden walnuts so he can make me a teleporter so I can just teleport straight home. The only thing missing now is the dragon horn so I can make a teleporter to Ginger Island. And look how neat it is. And the parrot also gave us a warp totem to the island so we can go back anytime. Anyhow, I dropped the 4 prismatic shards for Mr. Key. I then checked the perfection tracker and it's 40%. Oh my god. Day 145. But we got this. I still believe. So yeah, since I needed some dragon horns, I explored the volcano for some dragon horns. I really wanted that teleporter. Day 146, I made another area for some mystic tree farm, but I didn't have the seeds. In the future, once I have enough mahogany seeds. Also, our very first ostrich hatch. I'm gonna be waiting for that to grow up and hatch more eggs so we can hatch some more ostrich eggs. I then went around and gave some prismatic shard gifts to random villagers since I have some extra. I then placed the beets at the mayor's fridge and now I had to give the sand dragon his last meal. So I went to the desert to look for the said dragon. The dragon was actually on the left side of the map. So I fed the sand dragon the solar essence, the sun, and now I'm done, I believe? You've proven yourself, kid. Check out the pile of lumber next to your house. Alright. I checked the lumber in my house and I got a card, a club card. Anyways, I went to the Adventurers Guild to pick up this gift box right here and I got the Mapping Cave Systems book. This should be the last book I had left. And as you can see, I've completed everything except the onion thing. I don't know how to get it. Next, I went to Ginger Island to harvest some of the crops that were ready and delve into the volcano again to look for some dragon horns. On the next day, my star fruits were ready for harvest, so I started harvesting them. I hate how some of my star fruits fall into the ocean if I am not close enough. I need to pick them up by hand. I then planted a bunch of ancient fruit seeds that were already ready from my greenhouse. So I'm slowly making my ancient fruit farm. And there's missing spots, I'm gonna put some star fruits on them. I then went to Mr. Keys to pick up a weekly quest, and I got a quest to catch the extended family of the legendary fish. It includes Miss Angler, Legend 2. Oh my god, it's 15k gold. That's crazy. I can farm this. I had some oak resins ready, so I made a bunch of kegs and filled up the entirety of my house. I also made some heavy tappers and slapped them in my mystic trees. Slime hatch I had Robin made was ready, so I slapped in some slime eggs and incubator inside. I wasn't sure how the slime hatch worked actually. I then caught Glacier Fish Jr., radioactive carp, and finally the son of Crimson Fish. Then I went to the desert to make use of my club card and showed him my club card. Now I can enter the casino. I tried my hand at the slots machine and ultimately I lost all my money. So I'm not coming back here again since I'm poor. I took a peek at the perfection tracker at 41%. Let's go! For day 150, I really wanted a dragon horn, so I camped or used a tent kit outside the volcano and went inside immediately after the morning started. And then I remembered it was the luau today. I would earn a lot of friendship points from everyone if they like the food I place. So I brought over an iridium goat's milk that should make it very tasty. Make it milky. You can call me chef. You're welcome. So this is my current friendship on everyone. There's still a lot of people to work with, but we still have 50 days. I continued cooking various food just to complete my collection. I'd say I cooked a lot, but honestly, I'm still very far from completion. But hey, we're going there. Yeah. The next day, I incubated more slime eggs as I had some left on my inventory. I still didn't realize I need to water those boxes on the right side to feed them, I guess. So I never did that. Next, the volcano expedition continues. If you notice that I lost a bunch of money, I actually bought the return scepter because I thought it'd be really convenient to have it on my inventory so I can just return home anytime I want. The next day, I still continued my adventures at the volcano because the freaking horn is so rare. It's very hard to get. I'm kinda annoyed. I really want that teleporter. But then again, I got this mermaid boots. This is a really high immunity. I'm not too sure what's the difference between defense and immunity. After getting enough dragon horns, I decided to spend my day fishing some catfish for money. By selling my artisan goods and some catfish, I got enough money to have 1 million the next day. Some of the blueberries were already ready for harvest. There were some watered soils when I planted these. I should have waited for all of them to ripe so I can just do it in one go. But anyways, I went to the wizard's tower to craft the island obelisk. Finally, I'm so happy with this. Now I have a way to just go to Ginger Island and come back to the farm in one click. And now my next goal would be the desert obelisk, so I can go to the desert anytime as well. And for the rest of the day, I just harvested some moss. I needed about more than 300 for the Goddess of Blessing statue. Day 154, I made even more kegs as I had oak resins again. I made a mistake putting one besides the mini fridge. It took like the fruits and vegetables I had in the mini fridge, and I noticed really late. I then harvested more blueberries, and this will all go to my dehydrators. This side of the kitchen will serve as my area for dehydrators. For this week's weekly quest, I pick up 1,000 pieces of stone quest from Robins. I also pick up a weekly quest from Mr. Key, which is to explore the level 100 of Skull Cavern, which is really good because I have a quest from Robin as well. And this is the time I finally realized I need to water these boxes for my slimes. And totally forgot about the goddess statue or the statue blessing. So I place it down my farm, and this is what happens. It actually gives you a bunch of random buffs. And for today, I got a blessing buff of 0.5 speed. Then, for the rest of the day, I went to the Skull Caverns to mine some iridium and also get some stone for Robin. I had one missing mineral, and for this, I need some magma geodes or the omni geodes. One missing artifact, which I can get from hoeing the town for artifact spots, and a bunch more, but we'll get to it. For my relationship with the town, I have fully maxed a bunch of them already, but there's still a whole lot I need to work on. So I'm gonna continue giving gifts for everyone. Leo and Haley are the two people that I need to work on the most. I crafted myself a totem that can give like artifact spots as I was looking for the last and final artifact I need. It needs the mystic syrup to craft it. But it's not really hard to craft. So yeah, that's what I did. So I can get the final artifact I need. The chip amphora. And I was done. I then bought a bunch of seeds from Pierre as I needed to ship like 15 pieces of each for a shipment achievement. I'm not sure if perfection requires this, but I did it anyways. So went ahead and went to the desert to buy 15 of each fruit because I wasn't sure if I sold them as well. I have about 68 ancient fruit seeds ready to plant at Ginger Island. I will also plant all the 15 various seeds I have once my star fruits are ready for harvest. So I checked the perfection tracker again and I'm at 48%. Let's go! And also I bought 2 Galaxy Soul from Mr. Key by selling one of my golden walnuts. I have enough to buy the second one. I was honestly hoping that I would keep the Meow Mirror skin, but it's gone. It's gonna go. It becomes an infinity blade. I'm sad. Infinite power. And for the remaining time of the day, the Skull Caverns again, as I haven't finished the 1000 stones that Robin needs. I sold a bunch of my iridium bars as I didn't really need them. The next day, it was harvest day for the star fruits. I can finally plant all the ancient fruits I had on my storage. And also can plant the 15 pieces of various seeds. And honestly, it filled out most of my spot at the Ginger Island farm. So I'm gonna have to lower down my income for now for all these various seeds. And for the rest of the day, I just fished for catfish. Day 158. My blueberries are ready for harvest again. I have so many blueberries in my dehydrator area that I actually decided to just sell the gold quality ones directly, as it doesn't really earn that much compared to the dried blueberries. So yeah, that's what I did. I honestly kinda regret it. I should have just grown some melons instead. And since I had 1 million already, I had the wizard make me a desert obelisk just beside my island obelisk. That's 2 out of 4 obelisks now. And for the rest of the day, more mining. Day 159, I just attended the annual Trout Derby. Day 160, it was Sunday again, so I needed to give people gifts again. So I went on gift giving the entire day. And now I won't mistake of giving Haley a freaking prismatic shard. She hates it. I hate it. I wasted prismatic shard on her. I then went to Ginger Island and harvested some of the crops that were already ready and replaced them with some ancient fruit seeds because I really want that future of a Ginger Island full of ancient fruits. After checking out the wiki page for the mushroom logs, I placed them on my mystic trees so they will produce purple mushrooms and place them between my oak trees so they can make morel so we can give it to the raccoon. I never knew this was a thing, but since I stumbled upon the wiki page, now I know I should put it here. The next day, I showed my masculinity by opening a jar. Yeah. I then continued giving gifts to people just so I can max their friendliness. I bought a bunch of bait and crab pots from Willy as I needed some for recipes on cooking. The catch, I mean. I had a talk with Alex at the beach. Beautiful music. I then had Robin make me another fish pond at the farm. I set up my automated crab pot farm as well. Bought and added more crab pots at the ocean thinking it would be profitable. It was actually, but I'm not sure because these crab pots are expensive at 1.5k each. Then resume my daily activity of checking Ginger Island farm and harvesting whatever is ready. And planting my ancient fruits whenever I can. The next day, it was harvest day again for some of the crops. But I'm gonna be planting star fruits now since I ran out of ancient fruit seeds. Unless I had some ready in the greenhouse. And yes I did. So more ancient fruit seeds, let's go. I also harvested a bunch of blueberries at the farm and I hate it. I really should have planted some melons. I think planting the melons again rather than always harvesting these blueberries after every 4 days would have been easier and more profitable. So I went back to Ginger Island and planted the ancient fruit seeds I had. Went to Mr. Key's room and I was not gamer enough to get 50k points, so I wanted to try this prismatic grange. But Yeah, I totally ignored the quest. And I'm at 52% now. Let's go. Why is it so small? I feel like I did so many things already. What's missing here? My friendship level is like very good already. My masteries is max. My collection is like almost done. I still have a lot missing, but it's almost done. I'm only missing 2 fish, the legendary fish on fall and a new fish from 1.6. Then cooking, it's almost full as well. Yikes, we have 38 more days. Anyways, more mining at the Skull Cavern since I had nothing better to do. The next day, more harvesting on Ginger Island Farm. Then I chop a bunch of trees that I planted last time at the quarry. This was honestly a mistake. I'm making this into an oak resin farm. I wanted more kegs. And I also need a new shed so my house doesn't look like what it looks like right now. I cleaned out the quarry, then I will now take a plan on how I make this oak farm I want. I planted a bunch of oak seeds that I had. And splash them with some tree fertilizer. Day 164. I know you're tired of hearing this, but yeah, I harvested the crops that were ready and then replaced them with ancient fruit seeds. For now, I placed some wheat seeds for filler since I didn't really have any right now. At the very least, within the next 3 days, I should have a lot by then. I live in a factory of kegs and crystallariums and dehydrators. I then went to the wizard's tower to make the 2 remaining obelisks, the water and the earth obelisk. I honestly wasn't sure how I'm gonna design this in the base, but I want them to be together at least, but it looks really bad like this. So I decided this should work. Yeah. The next day, I had even more ostrich egg, and the ostrich family is actually expanding. I have 4 ostrich now, and an additional 2 once the egg hatches. I then give the raccoon the dried morels it wanted, and hopefully he can expand his family. He gave me a raccoon hat. The job well done I did by giving him food. Why though? I feel like who died and was made a hat? What? Anyways, when I went to Ginger Island, I had a touching scene where Linus was able to communicate via bird as well. So Leo will now live with Linus in Pelican Town. More harvesting was done in my farm. I got some tomatoes now. I can probably cook new recipes as well. And just a few more days, I can remove all of these other stuff I don't need and turn them into ancient fruits. Perfection tracker check. We're at 54%. Let's go. And since I was just waiting for fall to arrive, I just decided to spend most of my time or days in the Skull Cavern to earn some extra buck. And as I went to sleep, this giant tree near Linus' camp was warmed by parrots and it turned into a treehouse. I guess this is for Leo. For the next day, I harvested the last time I'll be harvesting blueberries on this farm. Next season, I'm just gonna go for melons. I then went to Robin's and had her make me a new shed. This is where all my kegs are gonna be, not in my house until it's full. Then harvested the ancient fruits in my greenhouse and then Ginger Island star fruits and other crops that were ready. I had about 155 pieces of seed of ancient fruits. I think it's not yet enough to cover the entire thing. I mean the entire area. But at the very least, I should have a lot of grounds covered. The next day, I made a mango sticky rice, another addition to my collection. I then added another ostrich incubator because one of my ostrich laid 2 eggs again. I gave them the golden cow looking cookie so they can make like twice the amount of produce. And since it was another Sunday, it was gift giving time to everyone in the valley. And you guessed it, another trip to the Skull Caverns. Woo! The last day of summer. I then went to the Adventurers Guild to check what monsters are missing. It seems a few more serpents left and I should be done. And I got a cool reward of a knight's helmet. I now look like a knight. I even gave my horse a squire's helmet, so we match. So yeah, that was the end of summer, day 167. We have about 33 days left and we were at 54% on our perfection tracker. Oh boy. I'm not sure if I can make it by 200 days, but I'll find out soon. If not, there's always 300 days. The start of fall. Went to Mr. Keys to pick up a weekly quest. Skull Cavern is always good and easy. And I checked my perfection tracker and yes, 55%. Let's go! I then bought about 1,000 pumpkin seeds as I needed about that much to cover my entire farm. So yeah, for the whole day, I worked on the farm so I can plant all the pumpkin seeds. And yeah, I finished the entire thing before heading to bed. 169 ancient fruits. Let's go. I cleared out all the filler wheats in my Ginger Island farm so I can place all the ancient fruit seeds I have. So destroyed some broccoli and squash since I was already done with them. And just a few more ancient fruit seeds and it should be covered by ancient fruits. And again, I had a quest to put some taro roots in my farm. I need to harvest about 100 and ship 100 of them so I can get the solar panel recipe from Carolyn. I then fished up the angler for my collection. And lastly, the new 1.6 fish, the gobby. And now I have the master angler achievement, completing the fish collection. So yeah, I sold a bunch of my artisan goods and look at the money and also my diamond iridium bars. Everything I had that I can sell. Stonks. Day 170, I became Gordon Ramsay and cook a bunch of new stuff. I also received a star fruit from Willy for catching all the fish, increasing my energy bar. The oak trees I planted at the quarry were already grown, so I'm gonna add some tappers onto them. Honestly, I should have done this a little earlier so I could have more kegs, but it's better late than never. I did a lot of various things. I also went around giving gifts to people. Chopped trees for wood as I was lacking, and also I was happy getting some moss for more mushroom logs. I then spent the rest of the night fishing for some midnight carp as I needed it for some recipe at home. Just needed a flounder and squid ink, which I already have on my chest, so I can make the seafood foam. The next day, I got 2 new ostrich to the family, and another 4 incoming ostrich once they hatch. I then added even more kegs to my house. I really need to have that shed. It's actually already done. I should just move all of them once it's done. So I placed the remaining kegs I had to my shed, and I will move most of them to the shed once they're done. I also need Robin to expand this more to a big shed. And I went to Robin's and upgraded it to a big shed. So really, I'm just trying to get the 10 million gold required so I can buy the golden clock. And for the remainder of the day, the Skull Caverns is where I went so I can get more money. Next day, another raccoon spawned in the treehouse. The family is growing bigger. And now the raccoon is asking for some broccoli juice and some pickled bok choy, which I don't have. Or I think I do inside the fridge. I then bought a bunch of recipes from Mr. Key since I need them for the perfection tracker. And for perfection check, we're at 67%. I guess the Monster Slayer hero added a bunch of percent on this one. I then chilled at the farm crafting a bunch of stuff I haven't crafted yet ever in my entire farming life here in Pelican Town, just so I can complete the perfection tracker. And yes, again, I went to explore in the volcano because I needed more dragon horns. Because I need dragon horns in order to make a forge for the base. The next day, I harvested a bunch of ancient fruits in my greenhouse. Money, money, money. I then went to this tea house of Carolyn since I didn't have any recipes for the tea sapling yet. I needed the green tea and the tea leaves to ship so I can complete my collection. For this one right here is a new item. It's raisins. You need grapes. So I need to buy some grapes and plant them as well on my island. Since I didn't really need my mango and banana tree anymore, I just, chop them down so I can put the grape seeds here and some ancient fruits. I then bought 2 recipes from the trader in the island and resumed my hunt to get some dragon horns for the forge. Day 174, finally my 4 ostrich eggs hatch and now we have a full barn. I'm gonna set up my automation now so it will make mayonnaise out of these ostrich eggs. Next up, I added the thief sapling to Ginger Island. I'll need to wait until the last week or 21 days before I can harvest this, I believe. 20 days. Then went around to give gifts to people in Pelican Town and the desert. Then went to the ocean to fish up some eels as I needed like 2 of them to cook like 2 food that required eels. Which would be the fried eel and the spicy eel. Next, I went to the cave thinking I would be able to receive like a squid from killing the squid because I didn't want to wait for winter to cook the food that required squid. Sadly, as I killed squids, it never really dropped the squid I wanted. So I couldn't get the squid, so I'll have to wait for winter. I then fenced the ostrich barn as they were annoying that I couldn't pass through my farm. I also planted broccoli and bok choy as I didn't have some in my fridge, so I can give it to the raccoon. Also, we have like 25 or 24 days left before our 200 days is up, and I'm kinda poor right now. I need 10 million gold. For the perfection tracker, we're at 71%. We're almost there. We have 97% produce and forage shipped, 79% friends, 88% cooking recipes, crafting though 52%. I need to buy a bunch of recipes from Robin. And as you can see here, we're nearly done. This is a coffee bean. The other 2 is the green tea and the tea leaf. As for the last one, it's the raisins. So I already know, and I'm kind of sure I can acquire this before the end of the 100 days. Oh yeah, I planted the coffee beans. Needed to ship like 15 pieces of this as well for the achievement. Anyways, I went to the museum and donated a glass shard. I thought I was missing 6 pieces of artifacts. I was wondering why, because I had like nothing. I completed all my collection for artifacts and minerals. But yeah, the only thing missing was the glass shard, and now I had a starfruit. Only 1 more starfruit left. I then went to Robin's and did a lot of renovations on my house as they were cheap. I now had a bunch of free spaces in my house, and I think I can like make it a factory of kegs. But I'll need to transfer all these non-working kegs to my shed. I did a little bit of renovation in my house, basically just renovating where my dehydrators are located. Then transferred a bunch of my kegs to the newly built shed, the big shed. I had a few more left to go for the cooking recipes. Some stuff I haven't unlocked yet, but the calamari is still waiting for winter for that squid. I then added even more kegs to my shed. I destroyed the ones at home and put it here. The ones at home were actually just making wine out of blueberries and random stuff that I had in my mini fridge. I did not notice, or the one I told you earlier that I made a mistake by putting a keg near the mini fridge. Went to Ginger Island and harvested a bunch of taro that was done and some ancient fruits as well. I needed to plant this taro 1 more time so I can complete the quest. About 38 more. And as I went to Marnie's to give gifts to Shane and Jazz, I see Lewis just casually entering Marnie's room. Huh. So I talked to him and he pretended like nothing happened. Or nothing's happening. That's so weird. So I tried blocking his way. Because why not? I was just wanting to make fun of him. I guess the moment like Jazz was about to come, he ran and sprinted out. What? Oh my god. Man. Then in the quarry, I made more oak trees. I mean, planted more oak seeds so I can have oak trees, so I can have more oak resins. Because I wanted more kegs. More kegs, more money. And for the remaining time of the day, I went to the Skull Cavern, to grab a bunch of iridium for money. I was honestly short in time and I was very far from my 10 million gold. So I really need to brute force this and farm a lot while waiting for my harvest or my crops to fully grown. So it's just a repeat every day of like getting some artisan goods and planting my ancient fruits, waiting for the keg to successfully finish, making it into wine, rinse and repeat. I sold a bunch of my goodies, but it didn't really give me that much money. Like all the taro roots, the mayonnaise I've been producing that I haven't sold for a couple of days. They weren't really giving me that much money I desired, but hopefully we'll eventually get there where we get 10 million gold. And since I farmed like a bunch of bats from the mines or the skull cavern, I made a bunch of crystallariums and slapped them in with diamonds with my automation. And with enough materials, I finally crafted the mini forge and continued crafting stuff I haven't crafted yet. Then went to Mr. Key's room for a perfection check and it felt like it didn't move at all. I'm still at 74%. What? What? And then placed a bunch of kegs on my attic as my other shed is already full of barrels as well. So this house is gonna be a keg factory. And you guessed it, more of Skull Cavern since I needed money. Honestly, if I did not aim for perfection, maybe this would be more fun and less stressful. But since I was aiming to get perfection on day 200, I need to do a lot of things while playing this game. So yeah, gotta grind. Grind for money. I'm poor. 10 million gold. The next day, I went around to chop some trees before I continue my mining activities. I then added a lot more mushroom logs as they were a god gift on making a lot of money from dried mushroom packs from the dehydrator. To the mines once more! Just 7 more million gold to go. Also, I had some starfruit wines processing at the basement. It's a room full of old casks. I'm hoping that would give me a lot of money once it's done. Form! Mine! Mine! Sleep! It was actually harvest day, and I'm very happy because I can smell money from all these harvests. Look at all those juicy pumpkins ready for harvest. After I was done planting all the pumpkin seeds, it was time to sleep again. And with the bok choy and the broccoli done, I gave it to the raccoon. I hope this little guy is happy. And he gave me a fairy dust. Wow, thank you. Then I form mine and sleep. The next day, I added even more kegs to my house, as I needed these things to process my pumpkins and ancient fruits which have been stocking up for a while now. Then harvested the taros I had on my Ginger Island farm, completing the quest finally so we can have the solar panel. My grapes were also ready and now I'm closer to perfecting that collection. I was almost close to like filling this entire area with ancient fruits. I'm gonna make seed out of the current ancient fruits I have if it's not enough. I then went back to Pelican Town to attend the Stardew Valley fair. I placed most of my iridium stuff, a prismatic shard, to the display. Hopefully I will win with this. I have 2 legend fish here, 1 and 2, and the Glacier Jr. And we got first place, getting the achievement for Blue Ribbon. Sold most of my stuff before sleeping and I got 897k. I'm happy with this, honestly. I'm happy. We're close to 10 million gold. The only happy times I have is when I know the ancient fruits are ready for harvest because I know I can get money off of this. I also planted a bunch of garlic on the available spots in my Ginger Island farm. So, because I need this for the garlic oil. Because I need to craft it for the perfection tracker. And look, my coffee is ready. But I still need 15 of these. But at the very least, for the shipment, I would be done with it. I then went to the desert and placed the solar panels I was able to craft with Caroline's recipe after completing the weekly quest with the taro tubers. And then I went to the mines to grind for more ores, for more money, so I'm closer to the 10 million gold. I make about 200 to 300k from the iridium bars I make after going to the skull caverns. Next day, I have a wholesome scenes here with Leo living in Pelican Town. Alright, since some of my oak trees are already ready, I made a bunch of tappers and tapped them in the trees. Or attached them in the trees. But I had like some dead trees here. I don't know why. I don't know why it happens. But anyways, I need to cut them up. I then went to Robin's and stocked up on wood and bought a bunch of recipes so I can do some perfection percent on this. And oh my god, I bought a bed by mistake. Went to Ginger Island and harvested my ancient fruits. Checked the perfection tracker and 76%. 15 more days left. I then bought a bunch of flower seeds from Pierre so I can make the tub of flowers I got. I also crafted a bunch of braziers I got from Robin. I didn't really know what to do with them and I don't really want to think right now because I'm too focused on getting perfections. I just placed them on the road. I don't think anything would happen to it. And I went to the mines to make some money. Expanded my keg factory at home. I then proceeded to do the quest for the island woman who lost her husband. So I gave the picture to Kent. He gave me some tomato salt, which I gave to Gus. And Gus gave me a valley rose, which I gave to Sandy. And Sandy gave me a remote control, which I gave to George. Then George gave me an Arctic shard, which I gave to the wizard. And the wizard gave me a wriggling worm, which I gave to Willy. And Willy gave me the pirate's locket, which I then gave to the woman in the island.
Hey, Birdie. What's wrong, Birdie? Are you sad?
Anyways, to the mines again to gather some money. I then sold a bunch of stuff, earning me a lot of money, especially the artisan goods like the wine and stuff. Yeah. Day 187, the usual farming, checking the percentage, pegs, and mining. Aching. The next day, I decided it would be wise to make a bee farm. Pretty late, I know, but yeah, I planted a fairy rose in the middle of all this beehives I'm gonna put. So it's gonna make me some money. Also planted an extra one here because I needed to craft a fairy dust. I just needed to craft it once for the perfection tracker. I then proceeded to give gifts in town since it was Sunday again. I was almost done with everyone. Like, almost. Only 2 people left were Leo and Krobus. After doing all random shenanigans like chopping trees at the Mystic Forest, I went to the Skull Caverns to mine some more. Honestly, dead inside. Why am I aiming for perfection? I spend so much time gathering money at the Skull Caverns. I'm so sick of looking at all these stones and monsters. I just wanna chill. Anyways, 12 more days for the greater good of a golden clock and some extra money to waiver some perfection percentage. I sold a bunch of stuff before going to sleep, including the wines I had at the cellar, earning me like 837k gold from all of it. I will stop processing fruits to wine once there's like 7 days left. Honestly, my focus right now is just to earn enough gold to buy the golden clock and have an extra to like buy some waiver points. So I kept doing and persevering every day, gathering ancient fruits, mining in the mines so I have enough money. I'll stop saying that I went to the mines or gather some fruits now. I will just focus on the highlights. With 11 days left, I was very disheartened that I'm only at 77%. I don't know what's missing. I know that the golden clock gives like 10%, but there's still so many things missing, so many percentage. Always makes me so happy seeing like there's another baby in the raccoon house. It's very, I don't know, it's very wholesome to see them. And with this prismatic shard, I have maxed out Krobus because I can see the star on his chat bar now. I actually didn't know that in order to get the last star drop, you'll need to have either a wife or a roommate. So I'm making Krobus my roommate, but I need to get him to like 12.5 hearts to get the star drop. And oh my god, I'm not even sure if I have enough time, but we'll see. Anyways, a man has to work for money once more, so I went to the cave again because I still am lacking a lot of funds. Then sold a bunch more stuff again, like iridium bars and other gems, emeralds, thingies, and my stuff at the base, and got myself some 500k. I was honestly running out of time, but I believe I still have enough to fully achieve perfection. 78%? What? So yeah, I needed to finish crafting everything I need to craft. And for that, I need a deluxe scarecrow, which I would need some key coins. So I went to the desert and went to the gambling area again. The scarecrow is for 10,000 coins. Oh my god. I bought about 200 and just kept betting 10, 10, 10 until I had a lot of money. I don't know. I got lucky, I guess. What? Yay. I bought the last scarecrow I needed for the deluxe scarecrow recipe to come to my mail the next day. Then I went to see the movies just so that I can have the achievement, and I was also curious what was inside. And inside was this. And now I got the achievement. 2 thumbs up. The movie was... how do I say this? Weird. Yes. So yeah, it's like that. Anyways, moving on. I went to the Skull Caverns again to mine for money. Next day, I got the recipe and made the deluxe scarecrow. Just placed it whatever. I already have a scarecrow on my entire farm. I then checked the perfection tracker if anything changed, and nothing changed. Still 78%. What am I doing wrong? Or what's missing? And since my oak resin farm were already producing a lot of oak resins, I made a bunch of kegs and filled my house with kegs. And to the mines I go once again. Money, money, money. Honestly, I don't know what else to do in Stardew to make money. This is the only thing I had in mind. Stonks. I sold a bunch of artisan goods and my iridium bars. Remember how I told you earlier about getting a star drop when you have a roommate that's like 12.5 hearts? It's on day 192 I realized that. So I'm gonna make Krobus my roommate. I might be able to clutch it before day 200, but we'll see. So I gave Krobus the pendant and told him to live with me as my roommate. So he'll be there in a few days, basically in 3 days, leaving me 5 more days to woo him to 12.5 hearts. Panic! So, with nothing else to do, I'm at the mercy of like luck, and hopefully Krobus gets 12.5 heart. I went to the Skull Cavern again to earn some money because I was so close to 8 million. The next day, I was lucky enough that a traveling merchant had some green tea I can sell. So I don't need to use my green tea leaves. I can just directly sell it. So yeah, as usual, I was at the mines. Ha ha ha. I was honestly losing my sanity if I can do it or not. And then I sold a bunch of stuff again, especially the artisan goods, which were the dried ancient fruits. Some ancient fruits I sold by mistake. My bad. And in result, I got 861,000. Say it was a mistake because I wanted to make it into some dried star fruits. Anyways, here comes the money. We got some pumpkins. I'm gonna directly sell them if this doesn't work at the dehydrator. Because for the dehydrator, it's just fruits and mushrooms. Pumpkins is a vegetable, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna directly ship it in the bin. I also got a bunch of ancient fruits, which I'm just gonna ship to the bin. I totally forgot about my tea sapling on this day. Oh my god, good thing I remembered on the next day. Look at the forage and ship 99%, but my total complete is like 78% still. Oh my god. 6 days left. I don't know, man. Anyways, I just got to believe, so I went to the mines and farmed. But of course, I needed a break for myself, so I attended the Spirit Eves and got myself a prize ticket. Ooh. Very happy. The next day, I learned of a new dish called the Fiddlehead Risotto, so I made myself one. Finally, Krovos finally moved in. It's time to increase his heart. The whole day was spent at the mines again for some money. Day 196. I need to make Krovos the happiest person alive right now. Currently at 11.2 hearts right now. So I did the same thing for this day, just harvesting my ancient fruits. And when I went to get my weeklies at Mr. Keys, I got the most clutch thing ever for money. I can just farm the Legend 2 and smoke it. And that's a whole lot of money right there. The Legend 2 is basically 15,000 gold. Smoking it would be making it 30,000 gold. So with that, I can 100% buy the golden clock with some extra money to waver for a percentage on perfection. So that was the plan. Look at this. I got 100% in produce and forage and 95% on the other two. But still, it's only 79%. So let the farming begin with Legend 2. Yeah, money! Our earnings from fishing for this day is 551k, and I sold a bunch of my wines and other stuff, artisan goods. And yes, we already achieved our goal of 10 million. We can now get ourselves a golden clock and see what changes. Look at the Smoke Legend 2, 30k each. I got like 10k. Another day of making Krobus the happiest person alive. Then I went to the wizards to make the golden clock. Yes, sir. Used a totem to harvest some snow yams. I wanted to make the seeds for winter because I haven't crafted that yet, my entire gameplay. Then gave some juice and pickles to the raccoons again as he wanted this. Got myself more fairy dust. Cool. Upon checking the perfection tracker, I was at 89%. The golden clock gave me like 10%. So where's the missing 11%? I'm just missing the star fruit and some percentage on cooking. So I farmed for some legend fish again. I might have to waver everything, but I don't think I have enough time to gather enough money to waver everything. I have like 900k left, and I don't think I can collect a bunch more. Before the day ended, I teleported to the beach to catch a squid. I just need one to cook for a fried calamari. And I got it. So I made a calamari before sleeping, and now I'm just missing like 3 food. So the next day, I went to check the perfection tracker. I had like 96% on cooking and crafting 97, but still 89%. What is happening? We have 2 more days left. I guess the star drop is a solution to all of this. Since no basically means 0%, but yes would be like 10%. We just need to waver like the 1% and we should achieve perfection. So yeah, I continued farming Legend 2 since I didn't know what else to do. I'm just waiting for Krobus to get like 12.5 hearts. And then I should waver my plus 1%. Krobus right now was at around 12 hearts. And I just need the 0.5, man. And I was done. I sold most of the stuff I could sell, especially the Smoke Legend. I had about 29 of them and I got 870k gold from it. I'm not sure if this will even help, not until Krobus gets like 12.5 hearts. So day 199, I gave Krobus a prismatic shard. I talked to him, and I talked to him some more. Then I checked the friendship level. And oh, what the heck is this? Even if I was sad and depressed from the result from giving prismatic shard to Krobus, I still did my duty of farming, harvesting my ancient fruits. Check the tracker again, 89%. It seems my future is dim. I went to the cave to waver 1% of my perfection tracker because I know if ever Krobus clutch this tomorrow, at the very least, we are at 100%. As you can see, it's 89 plus a 1. So yeah, I was unmotivated and just decided to sleep for the day. So the final day, hopefully, with this rabbit fit, he'll be really happy, but he doesn't seem like he's happy. I got like just a bit of heart from him. I'm so sad. I just slept in depression. That's the end of our 200 days. I'm joking. Let's extend this till perfection. Day 201. Finally, Krobus gave us the star fruit. We reached 12.5 heart. Let's go. Yeah, we got all the star drop. I went and see the perfection tracker. I had 99% plus 1. So I'm guessing the event will trigger after I sleep. So I harvested all the ancient fruits I had first before sleeping because honestly, I was too lazy to do anything. I am all spent. I have worked so hard for the past 201 days. So for now, I want to see perfection happen. I'm moving the text so you can see the text on the lower left. So you feel it in your heart somewhere. Somehow Grandpa is beaming with pride. The legacy of 100 days farm is eternal. I'm pretty sure I achieved perfection here. A rumbling sound was heard in the distance. Probably the rock. Going outside, there was a lot of parrots flying. I was kind of surprised what's happening here. I guess this is the way perfection works. I spared no time. I climbed up the area where there was a huge boulder. So yeah, thank you guys for watching our 202 days of Stardew Valley. I have achieved perfection with this.